plus that excellent service after the sale with free rotations, free alignment check, free flat repairs with our exclusive Plus plan. That tradition continues today. Looking for tires you can trust? Choose us. Trusted Tire and Auto.
When it's time to choose your team, you want to pick the best.
I pick Carson Wentz. I pick Hunter Lipke.
Where'd you come from?
I was in football just like you.
Always choose people you know and trust for your team, like your community bankers at First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
For decades, Nodak Insurance Company has been serving our state's residents in good times and challenging times. We come together for the greater good, from simple acts of kindness to company-wide efforts that make a difference in our community. It's who we are, rooted in North Dakota and ready to serve when it matters most. Nodak Insurance Company, agents with answers.
Darren Johnson, Cody Olson, and Scott Wilkins, your agents with answers in Mandan.
You have built an amazing life by working hard and doing your job well. Delivering financial advice is what we do well. At Ameriprise Financial, our job is to use our skills, experience, and research to help you become more successful in today's economy. What we want you to walk away from each encounter with is satisfaction in knowing that together, we've done what we can to help you work toward a better future.
ServPro brings hope. With expertise in Minot and Bismarck, we don't just restore homes, we rebuild lives.
He's going to cut free. He's over the 30. Gets the puck. Here comes free. Keep fighting. He scores. Same play. Conklin with the slam on his head. What a day it has been. The FARGO Dome, what a venue, home to the NDSU Bison. Today it's been home to the crowning of 3 state champions inside of North Dakota high school football. And now it's time to crown the big schools as a champion here tonight. 3A state title matchup is on the line between number 2 in the East, Davies, and number 1 from the east side of the state, West Fargo, Cheyenne. Welcome into our Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. Valvoline Instant Oil Change in Minot and Bismarck. It's a 15-minute drive-through oil change. You really can't beat it. It's quick, it's fast, it's convenient. They do a fantastic job at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. And I'm not just saying it because I read it. Yes. Did you love it?
You know, I go there all the time. It's by my office, but they're great people. They're friendly. They take care of you. And you know what they say to you? They're honest. They don't like try to say, hey, you might as well get this from us because it's 4 times more than it is someplace else. They recognize that if there's going to be times they got to not sell the part to get the service, and I just like it. It's easy, it's quick, it's affordable, and it's convenient.
You sit right in your car. It's a 15-minute drive-through oil change. You can't beat it. I check my email, maybe eat my lunch.
Absolutely. No, I love it. I absolutely love it.
He's Chuck Claremont. I'm Nick Holberg on the call tonight for the 3A state championship matchup. Chuck, I know it's hard to be in this venue for you as the former captain of the University of North Dakota Fighting Sioux in football back in the day for you. However, what a day it has been here, starting with that 1A game at 9 o'clock this morning. That was a doozy. The AA game was a doozy. And then the highlight reel that was the 9-man game today, that was a bit more of a blowout. Overall, your thought and recap on today's action here at the Dakota Bowl.
I think we knew 2 of the games for sure were going to be close. That Velva Kindred game, we knew that was going to be a slobber knocker, 14-12. Velva just survived a 2-point conversion to tie it late in the game with a little over about a minute and a half left. So big win for Velva in their, I think, 12th state championship. That next one with New Rockford Cheyenne, I picked them, so did you. But ultimately, I thought LLM would keep it closer. Surprised at just the athleticism and the quarterback skills that Easton had for New Rockford Cheyenne, and they just had some dudes on that team that they just outran them. 62-26, broke a record. Most points scored in a Dakota Bowl game was 62 points, and had some other ones. It was fun to watch, even though the game was not as close as it probably we thought it might be. And then that last game, I don't know. I mean, it was close, but it was kind of that weird game. I don't know if either team played their best. I mean, 14-8, Red River just didn't seem to have. They were missing something. I don't know what it was. Something. They were missing something, and it just felt like no matter what, every time they tried to, they felt like they were coming back. They were missing something, and so congratulations to West Fargo Horace. I know their coach. I went to school with his dad. I looked and I saw Harvey McMahon. I'm like, okay, how many Harvey McMahons do you think exist? Well, guess what? There's 4 of them because he's Harvey McMahon the 4th. His dad was the 3rd. He was a nose guard at UND when I played there, and he was about 205 pounds. And you'd have thought he was on skates most of the time. Harvey, sorry, man, if you're listening, I apologize, but you were really undersized nose guard, and we gave up a lot of points those first couple of years when you and I were playing as true freshmen. But a great guy. I was hoping I would see him. I went down to the 2nd floor in Horace. They were all celebrating, and I walked around looking for Harvey, and I couldn't find him. So I haven't seen him since I was a senior in college, and it's been pretty cool to kind of stop and say hi to him. So
on that same note, though, how beautiful is state tournament and state championship time? Just a personal note from guys like us in this broadcast booth, where you get to bump into colleagues and guys that are here doing the same job that we are for the love of the game and promote these kids, but also in the football world. I'm sure there's plenty of familiar faces that you see here with the people that just love this game on the gridiron so much that come here for 4 days or 4 games in 1 day at the Fargo Dome.
It is. It's a great day. Unfortunately, I don't like the part that they play 2 games early, you know, at 9 o'clock and 12. I think that's probably too early. I wish it was probably 2 days. Might be, you know, better from that perspective. But, you know, back in the day, played the state championship, was fortunate enough in 1984. We beat Dickinson, but it was in Dickinson. It was cold and not the same. I mean, if we would have been out in Fargo, you just like the ideas. You're in a hotel room. You were in New Rockford Cheyenne, seeing the kids and the coaches interact and everything. It seems like there's a lot more opportunity, like you said, to network and hang out with people that you like or you haven't seen in a while, and like-minded individuals. So I think that part is really cool, even if it's in the Fargo Dome.
See, like-minded individuals, kind of like me and Dan Schmeeker today, the legendary coach at St. Mary's. I like being in the Fargo Dome because I can wear shorts in here, Chuck.
Hey, absolutely.
True football weather.
It is. It's beautiful inside, 70 degrees. That's the one thing about it, is you hate to get to this time of year and having the weather affect a game. And coming here, it doesn't. There's no excuses, right? The better team usually wins because you're not dealing with weather.
Well, this one should be a fun one tonight. 10-1 Davies, 9-2 Cheyenne. They matched up in the regular season, and guess what? It was a seesaw struggle for offense. 3 total points were scored, and Cheyenne wins the EDC crown with the victory over Davies that night. They go back head-to-head here this evening. The 2 teams left in the state with the best defensive numbers are going to collide tonight. Listen to this. Davies is only giving up 10 points per game on average compared to the 13 that Cheyenne gives up. Over-under that we see 27 or more points tonight. I'm guessing we're probably not going to have a real slugfest that way here in the 3A title game.
I would not think it's a high-scoring game. That would be my perspective. I mean, ultimately, Cheyenne's playing really good defense lately. They started the year. They weren't playing great defense, but you know, sometimes, Nick, in sports, something just clicks. You figure something out. They lost to Century, then they lost to Bismarck High, and it felt like they kind of drew the line right there and said they moved some kids around, found some spots for kids, and since then they've only given up, in the last 6 games, they've only given up 32 points, so it's a defense from West Fargo Cheyenne playing really good, and I mean, they shut this team out 3-0 last time. I get that Davies had 4 turnovers, but bottom line, both teams are playing very good defense. So to think we're going to get a 28-27 game, I don't see it happening.
It's probably not in the cards tonight. I have the big question for you that has been the question, but in the opposite way all season long, including last week in the state semifinals where Minot played Davies. You see Davies once. They run that 3-set back offense that is just so tough to beat. They've got 3 kids back there averaging over 7 yards per carry, and they've got a young man by the name of Malachi Wermeyer who's got 31 touchdowns. That offense on the ground is all it is. They don't go through the air very often. 260 yards on the season through the air total, 261 to be exact, Chuck. When you've seen that offense once, it should be easier to shut it down the second time. However, that hasn't been the case for anybody in the state of North Dakota. Now for Cheyenne, you've seen it, you've conquered it, you get them again. Is it easier the second time around, or does Davies have an advantage knowing that they maybe have something up their sleeve here tonight?
Well, I can tell you I don't think Davies has an advantage necessarily because they are kind of what they are. But a little birdie told me, somebody that I talked to has somebody who plays in the team, and he's a grandfather, and he said, hey, my grandson said, Grandpa, we got some things going potentially in this game. And so of course he wouldn't tell me what the heck it is, but it always happens. You hold some things back. There's always a play here or there that you hold back, and sometimes with a team like that that's constantly running at you, it maybe can be as simple as a play action pass or something like that. That might be all it takes when you're running the football as much as Davies have. Number 1 offense, 306 yards a game rushing, as you mentioned, only 23 yards a game. I mean, they've thrown the ball 42 times on the season.
Wow.
That's a season. That's less than 4 times a game. I mean, so there's no secret what Davies is going to do at you. They're going to go, we're going to run here, and you can try to stop us. Good luck.
On the other side, Cheyenne's a team that's got a young man by the name of Caden Olson. He can huck it around a little bit, 156 of 252 attempts on the year, just shy of 2,000 yards through the air, 19 touchdowns for him. He really does have to be big here tonight, but how do they combat that Davies defense that is so good, especially in the secondary?
Well, I think the beauty with West Fargo Cheyenne is they're a little more versatile, right? They're a little more balanced. They got the runners, Schlichting and Herman. They've ran for over $1,100. Wow, 1,100. What? I got money coming to me from somewhere. I don't know. 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns combined. So it's kind of that two-headed monster. They can run the football, but boy, Caden Olson, he can throw it, he can spin it. You mentioned almost 2,000 yards throwing, and he's very versatile. He's a baseball kid. He's got a great arm. We talked about a number of times this year about this day already about guys that can throw multiple throws. He can do it. Caden Olson can throw all the passes. So to me, the balanced offense of Cheyenne really what holds them apart against this Davies team, that they got to stop not just the run, not just the pass, both of them.
Speaking of money, this is one that you wouldn't want to put any on because it can go either way tonight, I would have to assume. When we come back, we're going to have our opening kickoff and a quick salute to our country, the United States of America, with our Star-Spangled Banner. It happens next, ahead of the 3A state championship between Davies and Cheyenne.
In a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, one step at a time.
God bless our servicemen and women. God bless our veterans. God bless America. How about the rendition of our nation's national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner, from Annabelle Marr from Shanley High School? Chuck, if that doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what will.
You know, we always have envy of those things we can't do, and that's one of them I can do, is sing a cappella. How cool would that be? You talk about talents, that's a talent right there.
Yeah, it certainly is. And speaking of talents, we're going to see plenty of kids in this ball game tonight that have that, including the EDC Player of the Year in Cade Petschak. How do you like being signed by Nebraska? The front line man here for the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs, 6'5", 250. What is it about his game that you like so much?
Wow, he's fast, he's strong. His kid benches as a senior in high school, 350, 345 clean, 500-pound squat. I mean, he looks like Adonis. If you've seen the kid warm up before the games, you're like, okay, that kid's got a Division I body, and there's a reason Nebraska has recruited him. And he's fast, too. He's got that motor, you know, that another level that you just see these guys. And he's a kid that we're going to see both offensively and defensively. They surely are going to have somebody looking at number 55 on both sides of the ball.
Well, let's set the table for you. 3A state championship is up for grabs. 10-1 Davies taking on the 9-2 Cheyenne Mustangs. Davies will be in their home whites. They've got the Florida Sentinel uniforms on here, just a little bit, a similar resemblance to that.
Totally. Just saw them last week.
Yeah,
they get beat 51-3 to Notre Dame, the Irish.
Yeah, I was envious of the picture you sent from the locker room of the Fighting Irish. I like that.
Cool. If you haven't gone there, make it a point to.
Davies from the right to the left, left to the right here for Cheyenne. Davies is in white with the crimson on the uniforms and the trim. The Vegas gold buckets on tonight. Cheyenne is in white pants with their blues trimmed out in orange. Opening kickoff through the back of the end zone. And Davies will come out on offense, make it Cheyenne coming out on offense for the first time from their own 20-yard line. The opening kick in tonight's state title game brought to you by our good friends at the UPS store located on South Broadway in the Magic City. It's the UPS store for all your packing and shipping needs. Has there been one X factor in the game today that has translated from every single game? Maybe an early start or a momentum swing that's really changed all three games that we've seen earlier today?
I don't think so necessarily, because, boy, it's been back and forth, those two games that have been super tight.
Kate Olson hands it off here, first run of the ball game. That Schlichting on the carry, is 173rd carry of the season, but Jaden Hunter stopped him right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, you're talking to some guys about these kids, these Alex Meese and Jaden Hunter, these defensive ends, two juniors that had just tremendous years and really just kind of stuff things inside and allow Wilmot Matati, he's a dude, a linebacker, and then obviously one of the best linebackers in the state, Malachi Wermeyer.
Second down and 10, 20-yard line for Cheyenne. Second play of the ball game. The 3A state championship live from the Fargo Dome. Keeper from the quarterback. Olson may have two or just a bit more on the play, and the stop is going to be made by the big man Alex Meese, 6'2", 225, playing that end position. 4 sacks on the year for him, and this is a guy that was big in the semifinals against Minot, shutting down that Magician offense.
Yeah, I heard he had a big game. Both those defensive ends did, and again, you got 6'2", 225, 6'5", 245. Both those guys are very big on this Davies defense.
Third down and 6 here for Cheyenne. You hear the Davies fans start to come alive on the near sideline. From the gun, wide receivers on each side. Quick hitter out. It's complete into the hands of Caleb Haas. He's wrapped up on the play. Should be enough for a first down. And Haas was shut down by guess who? Malachi Wermeyer. But
I think they're saying incomplete now. The official from the sideline judge came in and he said the ball hit the ground, and I wasn't looking up for the replay, and they're going to say the ball it hit him in the chest. A good hard throw by Olson, and then he got popped by Wermeyer and couldn't hang on. So good job by Wermeyer defensively, coming up with a big hit.
Yeah, nice eye there, Chuck. It will be a fourth down situation facing Cheyenne now as they move into punt formation. Back to retrieve the punt here for Davies. Mathiasen waiting way back. This is a towering punt all the way up to the 30-yard line of Davies. Mathiasen's on the rush up to the 40. He gets up near the 44-yard line before he's wrangled up by a swarm of players, including Maddox Weigel. But a nice punt there. Now Davies comes to work on the offense. And I'm telling you right now, there's no offense to be taken here by Wayne Wermeyer. He's one of my favorite coaches in the league. Nothing but respect for the offense that he runs. But don't fall asleep on the Davies Eagles. It's short and steady as we go, maybe 3 to 7 yards at a time. And that's why they've been one of the top offensive production teams inside of the state of North Dakota. First down and 10 for them. Up the middle on the run. Wermeyer bounces forward, and guess what? 3 yards on the play. Chuck has them with a second down and 7. Braden Olson was the one that made the stop from the linebacker position here for the Cheyenne Mustangs.
Thank goodness for binoculars when you got something like this. I mean, this reminds me of the Beulah offense. We called it the fire pit offense, where you had 3 guys getting the snap. At least this one, you got a little bit of a room that you got us to hand it off.
Under center working here, the quarterback Xavier Moose, hands off. Big hole opens up, crashing forward. Carter DeWald, 82nd carry of the season, and DeWald flies forward before Landon Zink ties him up, but it's a first down. Davies.
Yeah, that's just a hard run. I mean, they take that handoff, 2 hands. They know they're going to get popped. Run straight ahead, nothing fancy. Got to that secondary, and a nice run and a first down.
Ball's on the left hash, 48-yard line, Cheyenne side of the field, right underneath the hooves of the Bison Limbo here at Gate City Bank Stadium. Gate City Bank Field, excuse me, inside of the Fargo Dome. I don't know what happened there. I got a little bug in my throat all of a sudden. Thank goodness the Red Bull's up here, my friend. Great job, by the way, today all day long with Scott Woodmansey and Todd Domrey's on the call. Nothing like the Dakota Bowl, is there?
It is. It's a long day, but it's worth it. You know, it's kind of a culmination of a full year's worth of a lot of calls and a lot of great teams and a lot of great kids.
Well, first time since 2005, or sorry, the third time since 2005 that it's an All-East final. And Davies runs the ball again here on the second down and 8. Wermeyer was the carrier. The stop was made by Lochner, the linebacker.
And Lochner, he's a kid, middle linebacker. He's one of those guys who kind of moved into that role about midway through the season, and he's really added some value to this team. I was going to have how big Lochner is. I forgot to put that in there. Lochner, what does he go at? Lochner's 6 foot 190.
Third down situation here. 6 to go to the first down pylon from the left hash. Right on the Bison hooves now as the Eagles put it into motion. Off to Wermeyer. He's going to crash to the left side. Not enough for a first down. They need to get down to the 38. Wermeyer had the run. Brennan Gable was the one that made the stop from the nose tackle position in the first 4th down of the ball game here for Davies. Faces him here with 8:03 left in the first quarter. Nobody on the BNC National Bank scoreboard just yet.
No, and you look at this team, this Davies team. I mean, it's double tight. 4 guys in the backfield. There's nobody spread out.
Under center again, left hash. 4th down, they're going to go forward here. Davies on the hard count. Muse on the keeper, option play, flips it out. DeWald has it here on the near side, and Carter DeWald gets up over the marker for the first down, and Davies is on the move. A little trickery there that we don't see too often, and it's Braxton Luckner again that makes the stop for Cheyenne.
Just good job of kind of being a point guard. Xavier Moose, this quarterback, as he read that handoff, pulled it, what she was supposed to do, then he went down the line, read the defensive end, got a nice pitch out to Carter DeWald, and picked up another first down.
Fresh set here on the 36-yard line of Cheyenne. 2 in the backfield here. Working under center again, Muse into motion. Goes Colin Williams, and now they're going to hand off here. Wermeyer finds a seam, bounces to the left, then the right, off of traffic. Gains at least 5 on the play before he's stopped by Braden Olson, the senior linebacker.
That time, instead of going straight ahead, Wermeyer showed a little bit of his elusiveness as he had a little bit of a jump cut there to get to the outside. Kind of tippy-toe his way out to the 32-yard line.
How do you like 176 yards per average per game? That's pretty good for the senior. A lot of people had a lot of questions on him being the senior athlete of the year in the East region for North Dakota high school football. However, that went to Petschuk on the run on the second down play. Not much doing there near the 30-yard line for Wermeyer. And a swarm of Mustangs make the stop. The big man, Brennan Gable, the 220-pound nose tackle, was there to make the stop. And now it's a 3rd down and 5 here with 6:45 to play in the first quarter.
I'll bet you, Nick, that vote was very close because the coaches are the one who vote on it. And I would bet that you're talking about those East coaches. It could have been a 3-2 vote potentially.
Well, Bryce Gutnick said it last week after the semifinals. Bryce from the PSP Network saying somebody's got to pick this kid up for college football. DeWald's got the run. He's going to be near the 25-yard line, near the first down marker. Isaiah Lincoln, the quarterback, came in and made the play on the stop. But it is a first down here for Davies.
Well, like we said, they are who we thought they were. 9 plays into it, 9 rushes.
Well, they get down the field. The big thing about Davies, they eat time off the clock and keep the opposing defense on the team. And Chuck, of anybody, you would know that is such a factor. Time of possession to these ball games. On the run, they go to 88 this time. Colin Williams has the scamper, the carry before Isaiah Lincoln takes him down. And Williams is going to pick up at least 5 on the play, make it 6, and it brings up a second down and 4.
You know, one thing you see that they're doing, though, there's using, it's usually a 2-to-1 Malachi Wermeyer to DeWald or Williams, and they're really spreading it out more the 50-50 range, and that might be throwing Cheyenne off a little bit.
Well, they put 2 in the backfield this time as Muse works under center again. Ball's marked here at the 19-yard line. Into the Serve Pro red zone are the Eagles. They hand off and over to the left side. Bouncing off a tackle and forward is Carter DeWald. Big carry there, and Levine is the one that makes the stop.
DeWald again, the second back through. Wermeyer showing, hey, I not only run the football, I can block. He takes out the first interference of a linebacker and allowed Carter DeWald to just lower the boom on Levine. Yeah, we give him a tackle, but that's more of a catch.
5 minutes, 5 seconds ticking down here in the first quarter. Nobody on the board yet. Fresh set of downs and a 1st and 10 from the left hash at the 15. Davies with 3 in the backfield again. This time, Wermeyer cuts free, finds Painter, touchdown, Davies.
Straight up the middle, and you know, give credit not only to Wermeyer and the guys in the middle and Gus Wermeyer, Trey Steckler, and Blake McCarthy, but what a good job by the quarterback drawing that fake out, right? He hit the handoff, he went down the line. I mean, I got him locked in on my binoculars, and he faked me out.
Good luck trying to track it, I'm telling you. And that's what makes it so difficult to stop this Davies offense. And how about Wermeyer picking up number 32 on the year, point after attempt, snap back, hold down, kick up, right down the pipe, and it is 7-0. Davies leading on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Wow, steady dose of that run game. Steady dose of what we've seen from Davies all year. No shutout tonight for Cheyenne. Eagles 7, Mustangs nothing.
Congratulations, Dog. Wisely. Whether it's paying for a child's education, taking the family trip you've dreamed of, giving back to the community, or funding a confident retirement, we can help you reach your goals. We are passionate about helping you make smart decisions about your spending and saving so you can feel confident about the future while enjoying life today. Together, we can design a personalized plan that takes into account your short and long-term needs and wants, but is flexible enough to adjust as your life changes.
In times of loss, ServPro brings hope. With expertise in Minot and Bismarck, we don't just restore homes, we rebuild lives.
Being in business for over 25 years, we've learned a lot about why local matters. Unlike those guys, we take pride in our work and back our tires with our Plus Plan guarantee to get the most out of your tire's lifespan.
Are the tires the same size on all the sides?
We strive to provide great value to our guests and lowest prices guaranteed.
That's not good.
Stop at a trusted tire and auto and get a set of tires from people you know and trust, and will even match those guys.
...2024 Dakota Bowl coverage on the PSP Network, proudly brought to you by Minot State University. Be seen, be heard, be you. More than 96% of recent college grads are either employed or continuing their education at Minot State University. Minot State proud to support North Dakota high school athletics. Deep kick on the ensuing kickoff all the way back to the Cheyenne 1-yard line. The run back all the way up to the 30 as it was booted down, and the run comes back away here for the Mustangs, getting his way all the way up to the 30 as Gillespie, and he flies forward before Ryland Fisher made the stop. Well, how'd you like that opening drive of the ball game for Davies?
Well, not bad. 12 plays, 58 yards, 5 minutes and 37 seconds, 4 first downs, all run plays. Welcome to Fargo Davies football.
First down and 10, 30-yard line. Here for the Mustangs as Olsen works from the gun, middle of the football field, one in the backfield. They hand off here over to the left side. On the carry was Schlichting, and he's wrapped up in a hurry as Alex Meese grabbed him at the waist and threw him down to the turf.
There is no room to run right there, as that front line of the defense is just an absolute stone wall right now.
Well, most of these players that are the big name guys, the Wermeyers and company, they go both ways on the field, and I'm always impressed by that, especially at the 3A game, but it just goes to show how much confidence is in those players and their abilities, not only with knowing the playbook on both sides. Here's Olsen, by the way, across the middle, out complete to the 50-yard line, diving for the ball. Caleb Haas makes the catch. Oh, what a play that was. That brings the Cheyenne fans alive. The chains move in a big way, and the biggest play so far in the ball game for the Mustangs has them at midfield.
And we talk about the arm strength of Caden Olsen right there. Set himself in the pocket, threw an absolute bullet to the slant route to Caleb Haas.
Right at the 50-yard line now, center of the football field on the Gate City Bank turf. Quick hitter near side. It's out and complete. Haas has it. He's up to the 45, and then a swarm of Eagles jump on top of Haas after the completion. Tesh is the one that's going to get the credit with the play. That's going to be a gain of nearly 6. Second down and 4 coming here for Cheyenne.
Getting the balls to their playmakers. Haas, he's only played 5 games this year. Another one of those guys as a junior was hurt early on. Now he's coming back. You're getting their full contingent. They got everybody back right now playing for Jeremy Newton.
Ball spotted at the 44-yard line. Davies side of the field. Hand out, big seam on the run all the way down. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Cheyenne. To the house goes Kai Schlichting. 8th touchdown of the season, Chuck. What a response that was. 44-yard dash into the end zone.
And what a hole are on the right side right there, Nick. I mean, a huge hole. He got through that hole, and Schlichting showed his speed. He's a track sprinter. Nobody was catching him untouched. 44 yards for Kyle Schlichting and his 8th touchdown of the season.
Well, the response just about 1 minute 50 seconds later, Chuck. And Cheyenne put 6 on the board. They're going to try for the point after attempt. That seam opened up on the right side, and once he turned the turbos on, he was gone. Snap, hold, it's blocked. Oh, what a play, crashing in and making the stop. Colton Tesh comes flying in. He got the paw up in the way. And Tesh at 5'9" and 165 pounds in that safety position on special teams there comes up with what could be a giant play in this ballgame.
Absolutely could, and that's what happens. You come off that edge and you don't get a hand on him. Great job of laying out and getting the block.
Got ourselves a contest, 7-6. Davies on top after Schlichting takes it to the house from 44 yards away.
They take care of their customers.
That's right, Carson. You may be number 11 on the field, but at First Western, you and our customers are never just a number.
First Western provides the best in customer service.
When our customers call with a question, we answer their call personally.
Now that's pro-level service.
Thanks, Carson. Professional, friendly, full-service banking is what you can count on at First Western.
First Western, you can bank on us.
Today, we deliver more wonderful birthdays at Trinity Health Family Birth Center. We offer all new private, family-centered suites. Our maternity team provides more personalized support, advanced care, and the reassurances of a NICU and a neonatologist on staff. Take a virtual tour at trinityhealth.org/Family Birth Center. Trinity Health, making more possible.
7-6, Davies on top of the PNC National Bank scoreboard. The point after attempt blocked by Tesh after the 44-yard run into the end zone for Schlichting. Ensuing kickoff, hammered all the way down to the 4-yard line. It's picked up here. Eagles have room on the run, moving out to the outside. Getting all the way up to just about the 35 was Colton Tesh before he's wrapped up on the play.
There's a flag in the field by the back judge, so most likely that's going to be a hold or block in the back right at that 29-yard line. So it's probably going to be 1st and 10 at the 19.
I would return, illegal block in the back. Return team number 13. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. It's first down.
All 10 yards will bring him back from the spot of the foul. That will mark the football wear here, Chuck. It was originally
Should
out.
be the 19, right?
Yeah, 19, you're correct. Good call.
First penalty for either team today.
2:53 left here, first quarter. BNC National Bank scoreboard has Davies on top of Cheyenne as the Eagles come back out on the offense. Working from the left hash, 19-yard line. On the run, they fake it off to the Wald. They went up the middle here with Wermeyer, and Wermeyer is going to move forward with the football before Braden Olson, the linebacker, made the stop, but that was after a gain of 3 on the play for Malachi.
You know, the thing about it is everybody carries out their fakes. Even the second back through, he's got both hands covering like he's holding the football, and so it makes you, if you don't see the ball getting handed into the first guy, if you're a linebacker, boy, you got to have your eyes on a swivel.
2nd down and 8. Ball's handed off. DeWald gets it, cuts free, hits the edge, and DeWald's going to pick up yardage all the way out to the 25. That's before Xander Mulry made the stop. Somebody asked me about that after I had the opportunity to see Davies twice this season and have the call when they played Minot High. And they said, how do you call that? How do you know who has the football? I said, I don't know who has the football, and half the time I don't think they know who has the football, even the running backs in the backfield.
No, they're just tackling. Hey, you got this guy. If he comes through, you better tackle him. Somebody else might have another running back that he's isoing on him.
Same formation, 3 in the backfield. Ball marked at the 25-yard line. 3rd down and 3 as they go out to DeWald on the far side. Big stop there. Cheyenne and Isaiah Lincoln, the cornerback, came in on the coverage. It's going to be a loss of 2 on the play, Chuck, and Cheyenne found a way to stop that rush on the option play.
Yeah, you love it if you're a coach because everybody has to do their job right. The guy hitting the dive back, he's got to be right there. The guy in the end, the defensive end, he's got to make sure he's there. And then you got to have your pitch responsibility. Perfect job defending it right there with Isaiah Lincoln getting the tackle for loss.
4th down situation as Davies deep in their own territory. They're going to be forced to punt as the ball sits on the 24-yard line, right hash. Davies side of the field, under a minute to play. First quarter down to 55 seconds remaining in a 7-6 first quarter with Davies on top. Bouncing kick down to the 38-yard line. Dancing left, then right, back to the left with the football. Trying to move forward on the carry was Jamison Allen. He's going to be wrapped up by Wicklow as Wicklow got down the field in a quick hurry. That was a nice punt away from Davies, but a 1st down and 10. Faces their defense now as Cheyenne comes back out with Caden Olson on offense.
39-yard punt on that 3 and out. So good job by the West Fargo Cheyenne defense adjusting after literally just getting taken right down the field on Davies' first possession.
Cheyenne back out on offense. They spread the field out. 2 wide receivers on the left. They put 2 on the right as well. 1 in the backfield. 1st and 10. Ball marked here at the 42-yard line. Their own side of the field from the left hash. Olson in the pocket. Fires across the middle. Coverage is there. Bouncing ball off the hand of Tesh, and it went up into the air. A couple dove at it on the defensive side for Davies, but unable on the reach to get out and get it was Ryland Fisher. But the opportunity on the replay here that you see on the big board was almost picked off from Fargo Davies.
Yeah, and what a play for Tesh as he perfectly read that, the little slant pattern to Haas again, who was good the last down for a big pickup of 22 to him, defended it perfectly.
2 wide receivers on the left, 2 on the right again. 1 on the backfield. This time they hand off. Oh, swarming off the rush. Going down was Schlichting. And the big man for the Eagles came in and closed that gap in a hurry. And Alex Meats, again, is right there to say, I don't think so.
And you talk about a sure-handed tackle. You got a loss back to the 39. So Meats, the front 4, Hunter, Lang and Majerus, we haven't heard it from yet, Nick, but they are taking up space.
While the fans come alive, that's because it's a 3rd down and 13 here. Olsen rolling, goes over on the bubble screen to the left side. Open field all the way up to the 50-yard line. Passes out and complete to Schlichting. And the stop was made there from Ken Mathiasen.
And it was a good play as the 3rd quarter ends. A nice play, get Schlichting an opportunity to get a 1st down, but great open field tackle by Mathiasen.
7-6 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. BNC.bank locations in North Dakota and Arizona. Got ourselves a ball game. 3A state title matchup has Fargo Davies on top of West Fargo Cheyenne by a point.
Priceless memories. Learning to play, playing to learn, or simply getting where you need to go. The team at Ackerman Estvold has been behind these projects and countless others, developing critical infrastructure, valuable spaces, and even some good old-fashioned fun. Entrusted with the things you know, but delivering more than you may realize. Ackerman Estvold, trusted for decades and decades to come.
First class Josh Peterson, Sergeant First Class Jacob Thompson, Staff Sergeant Eric Libby, and Staff Sergeant Morgan Axelson.
Well, those gentlemen that just rappelled from the top of the Fargo Dome from the North Dakota National Guard. Talk about the guts, my goodness. Training exercise during the Dakota Bowl here today. And as we have just a moment, Chuck, happy Veterans Day to all those veterans out there this week. And it's not every day that those veterans get enough support and enough love in our country, and they get it from us on the PSP Network. I promise you that much. God bless all of our servicemen and women and all those veterans, and God bless the guys that just jumped out of the rafters at the Fargo Dome.
Yeah, he's talking of talent and grit and determination and fearlessness.
You see me hang onto the rail over here. Once they started coming down, there's a rail on the step next to the press box. I grabbed onto it tightly.
Ooh, 4th down, big play.
4th down situation, ball at the 49-yard line. Cheyenne side of the field. 2 wide receivers right, 2 on the left. Olsen back in the pocket, fires. It's out, it's complete. Out again to Schlichting. He got over the 45-yard line, wrapped up by 89 Gunnar Majerus. The defensive tackle made the play on the far side edge, but another 1st down here for Cheyenne as Schlichting had a perfect bullet pass there from Caden Olsen on the completion.
Boy, that took some kahunas by Jeremy Newton calling that one. A nice hard pattern inside. He stopped, spun back, went to the outside, and a perfectly thrown ball for Caden Olsen.
Jeremy Newton, 11th year at Cheyenne. Talk about a record. He's gone 89-29 in his tenure with the Mustangs, and they have been a power in the East. Deep pass all the way down inside the 5-yard line on a tee, but the coverage in the secondary was there. Reed Vinning comes up and slams the door. Nope. He had help from 21,
yeah,
rather.
21, it was my bad. Let's see where he's at. Oh.
Keepa goes up and says, no, that was good coverage. Again, we talked about it in the pregame, Chuck, that the coverage in the secondary from Davies has been such a thorn in the offensive sides of their opponents on the season. You see it right there from the free safety position.
Yeah, just great coverage. I mean, he just showed his wheels from a cornerback, caught up as he was behind.
Caden Olsen rolling out of the pocket, firing forward. That was a bullet into the hands there of Cash Gilseth. And Gilseth goes down and makes the play, brings up a 3rd down and roughly 3 coming here for Cheyenne.
Another throw we're talking about, Nick. You roll out to your right, you throw off 1 foot, and you throw the fastball right down low where nobody else is going to catch it except Cash Gilseth.
Well, Caden Olsen's been a gunslinger. We talked about him on the year. He can rush it as well. 70 carries for 370 yards on the year. As long as 25 on the season. He's been good in the pocket and scrambling when he needs to do that here in this campaign. Speaking of scrambling, cutting free, Schlichting, 10-5, touchdown, Cheyenne.
Schlichting, the ball carrier.
38 yards out, Chuck. Schlichting is racking up the yardage and the TDs, and the Mustangs have their first lead of the 3A title game.
Again, off that right side, a handoff to Schlichting. He goes off the right side. Again, just caved down the tackle. Great job kicking out the defensive end, and Schlichting showed that track speed again. Nobody was catching him. 38 more yards to Schlichting. 5 carries now. 86 yards already in the first half.
2-point conversion on its way Is it Tate Herman possibly running right to the left side, bulldozing his way forward? It is Tate Herman. 2-point conversion's good. Cheyenne gets the points back. It's 14-7 Mustangs on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. We've got ourselves a ball game, and the highlights are starting to add up, especially for Schlichting. He gives the Mustangs the 14-7 lead on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold up. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Cheyenne Mustangs with 1 state championship to their name, looking for number 2 all time here tonight. This is their 4th appearance in the Dakota Bowl, and right now the young man by the name of Kai Schlichting giving them a pretty good shot. Nick Holberg, Chuck Claremont on the call. Schlichting from 44 and then 38. How about that drive?
Yeah, great drive. And you talk about the numbers: 58 yards, 2 minutes and 3 seconds, 7 plays, got a first down. You know, the key to me, Nick, is this is a West Fargo Cheyenne team. You mentioned it. In the last, well, since 1975, I mean, they have the best percentage of wins, 89 and 29 in this since then. 75% of wins. That's number 1 in the state of North Dakota. There's a reason they've been in the state championship for the last 6 years. Pretty impressive what Jeremy Newton's built. He's been there since the beginning.
Yeah, and what they've done in that EDC and the conference, running at the top of the ladder each and every year in the last 6. It's really quite impressive when you have a run like that. You said 1989 is the last time?
That's they have won 89 times. 89 is a record, 89 and 29.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to figure out what. Yeah. I got to pay attention. When Nancy was up here giving me a shoulder rub, that was what the problem was.
I mean, they started in 2003. Their first varsity year was 2014, and Newton's been there the entire way, and they've been in the state championship, and they've been in the playoffs every year but the first 2. So it's just a program that Jeremy Newton, I mean, he has done so much great things for this program.
My therapist has been telling me to work harder on listening, Chuck, and I'll work on that.
That's all right.
Throughout the night.
You got the 89. You heard me say 89.
I thought you said something about the best winning percentage since 89. Okay,
gotcha.
Well, now we're back on the same page.
I probably did say that too. Who knows?
Here goes DeWalt over to the far side on the cut. He's going to get up to the 50-yard line, over to the 45 before he's pushed out of bounds there. And Davies has the response before the stop is made from Landon Zink. It's a first down here for Davies. Do we have a flag on the play?
They're going back. It probably a hold. Yeah, there's a reason he got to the outside, but must have been on the tight end on that outside there. But DeWalt showed his speed, turning the corner, had a 20-yard run, but he had help.
Been working through it with my therapist as well, that it's an all-East final here this year. We're so happy to be able to be here and cover this, however.
Yep.
2 best teams are remaining in the state of North Dakota. That's fair to say after the semifinals, but quite a playoff run for everybody out west and everybody out east as well.
Minot finished the season. I mean, they're ranked number 1 at the end of the year, and it's a tough game against his Davies team last week.
Fun to watch this offense operate here. They go right up the gut with Wermeyer. No gain on the play. It's going to bring up a second down at 15 because that front line for West Fargo Cheyenne was there, and Alexander Mowry comes up and makes the stop.
Yeah, Mowry, he's 6'3", 230. He's a junior. I mean, he's a beast in the middle.
Brings up a second down at 14 here for Davies. We've got an injury timeout on the field as Petschok gets down. The All-EDC player and player of the year off to Nebraska. Petschok being attended to here by medical staff. That would be a giant loss here for Cheyenne, especially early in this ball game.
Well, both ways too. We talked about how good he's not just defensively where he really is the beast, but offensively he's probably the guy who's blocking down on that right side, clearing out some holes. Can't tell what they're looking at. They're going to help him up here.
Shields is proud to support
Oh, it's not in his knee. His hand? They're holding his hand, maybe?
Fans, please direct your attention to the screen for tonight's Milk Shuffle, brought to you by Cast Clay.
Yeah, they're holding that right hand as he's going off. Going to take a seat, and we're going to take a look at his. Yeah, he's in pain right now. You can tell he's just leaned over.
All right, fans, let's
well, I can tell. You can't because you're not watching it, but I can tell from the binoculars that
now it's your turn.
That would be big.
Well, hopefully he will be back. And I'm telling you right now, this playoff football run, doesn't matter if it's the 9-man level or the AAA level, being healthy this time of the year is such a key in this sport that we all love so much. Second down at 14. The run to the outside, trying to hit the edge, and doing so, it's Williams finding a seam, got up over the 40-yard line before he's pushed out a play, and making the stop was Isaiah Lincoln. But some yards gained back on the second down at 14. It's going to bring up a third down and 4 now here for Cheyenne after quite a run to the outside edge from Colin Williams.
You know, as I was talking to this grandfather, he just said, you know, he's got a chance to watch these kids, and they said such a tight team, this Fargo Davies Eagles team. They are so unselfish, whether they're running, blocking, catching, playing defense, they all are rooting for each other so much.
Well, they hand off and go right up the middle this time. Swarm of Cheyenne Mustangs are there at the 45-yard line. Wermeyer was the one that had the run, and Mowry again is the one that comes up with the stop. This is going to be a big play in the ball game. It's a 4th down and just about a yard to go for the first down with 9:45 left in the first half. Cheyenne leads Davies 14-7 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. It's Nick Holbrook on the call alongside of the former UND standout, the captain of the Fighting Sioux back in the day, Chuck Claremont. Live from the Fargo Dome. We're happy to have you folks aboard. Big play right up the middle. Does Cheyenne make a stop? This is going to be close. Chuck on the run was Wermeyer, but there was Landon Zink. First down.
Yeah, he got across that 45-yard line. What do? They attack right at where Cade Petchock previously was, at right strong defensive end. They went right at that guy, and I mean, a handoff to Wermeyer. You were not denying him that first down.
Ball marked on the 47-yard line. The spot was way better than I thought it was. 2 yards ahead of that first down marker to 1st and 10 at midfield again here for Davies as they work middle of the football field. They hand off and come to the left side. On the run, Williams again finding a seam to the 40. Williams gets out in space before he's wrapped up by Isaiah Lincoln. But another first down for Davies.
That play's been successful as Colin Williams is lined up. He's that left back in that T formation, and they have both Dewald and Wermeyer blocking for him on the outside, and those two guys have done a tremendous job. They're big bodies too. 205 Wermeyer is. Dewald's a hard pack and punch at 5'9", 180.
39-yard line, right hash. Eagles in their white uniforms and the Vegas gold helmets working here as they hand off. Dewald again's forward with it. He's going to dive forward with 2 Mustangs on his back up to the 35. And again on the play again. Brings up a second down at 7 here for Davies with 8:18 left in our first half of football. Jamison Allen was the one that came in from the corner position to make the stop, Chuck.
You know, and the thing about it, you look at these guys, again, this balanced. Wermeyer has 10 carries. Dewald has 8. Colin Williams has 4. Every single one of those guys are getting the football.
Under center again. Handoff. Paul Williams had a little bit of a slip up. He might have ran into Muse, the quarterback, and he fell forward.
That's exactly what happened as he tripped on the quarterback's feet. Xavier Muse couldn't get out of the way.
Brings up a third down and 7. Ball again at the 36-yard line. Tonight's game and the state championship brought to you by our friends at Northern Plains Heating and Air. No other choice to seal your heating and air game. The Northern Plains Heating and Air, factory authorized dealer for AeroSeal. Find them online, northern-plains.com. Big third down play here with 8 to go to the first down marker from the right hash. Ball on the 37-yard line. Davies hands off again. Williams cutting to the right side. dancing forward. He's going to pick up a yard or two on the play, but not enough for a first down because the stop is made by Braden Olson.
And what they finally did this time is they got somebody outside, forced him to turn back to the inside, right into the flow of the defensive guys in the middle. As you mentioned, led by Braden Olson, our leading tackler at 63 tackles on the season.
Not a bad campaign.
Not a bad campaign. You got that right.
Fourth down situation here. 5 to go to the first down pylon. On the right hash, ball at the 34-yard line. Under center, now the quarterback's going to keep it. Muse in the pocket, fired forward. Incomplete. The coverage was there from 14. That's McDaniel, and he reaches out, shuts the door, and Cheyenne takes over on downs.
Intended for Wilmot Matati, as maybe that was one of the plays they were talking about, or that wasn't Matati, excuse me, that was the tight end, Gunnar Majerus. He leads them with 4 receptions in the season. As they tried to throw it to him, and a great play by Lucas McDaniel coming around and knocking away with that left hand.
Well, Davies in the passing game is kind of like me with my golf game using the 9-iron. It doesn't come out very often, but when it does, it's good. And maybe not great for big pickups. However, you still have it in the tool shed just in case you
gotta have it, right?
You gotta have it. Here comes Cheyenne. Left hash on the football field, worked at the 34-yard line. 2 wide receivers on the right side, 1 on the left, but they hand off. Schlichting, he's forward on the play for a gain of 2, and this young man's had a ball game so far tonight, Chuck. 38 and 44 yards into the end zone for Schlichting to have. Davies now trailing the Mustangs 14-7.
Meese is the one who took him down. Just a short gain of a couple, and again, I don't think. Let's see if we can. See if I can find Petchak, if he's still sitting on the sideline or where he's at. It looks like I don't see him. See if he's out there on the field. That would be big, and I don't see number 55. So 71. Seth Holder. He's always been in there.
Play clock down to 2, by the way, down to 1. They get it off. Olson on the quarterback keeper up to the 35, and then Malachi Wermeyer came flying in, and the bullet dove at the knees, took down Caden Olson, and brings up a 3rd down and 9, loss of 1 on the play.
Number 72, Riley Lang.
Yeah, and that's one thing that, you lose one of your main guys, your left tackle, Cade Petchak. Now you're bringing people and putting them in different positions. I think it was 75 is the one, looks like he's playing. Atreyu Barch, maybe Atreyu. He's the one that's starting in the left tackle right now, in place of Petchak.
Cheyenne comes out and spreads out the offense again. Ball on their own 35-yard line. 2 wide receivers on the left, 2 on the right. Olson from the gun, fires across the middle, out, incomplete, over the head of number 10. The intended target was Kason Bernstein. Coverage was there again in the secondary, and guess who? It's Tesh again that was there on the coverage.
It is. The key, though, was Matati. Matati had dropped in the perfect spot. He was in between the intended receiver, Bernstein. The quarterback had to try to loft it over the top of him. When he did, it sailed on him.
4th down and 9 here for the Mustangs. They go into punt formation. Back to retrieve here. This is Mathiasen after the towering punt goes all the way up to the 35. Mathiasen on the run. Oh, he is tattooed. Coming in, the bullet play there from Weigel. My goodness, there's your hint of the title game so far as Mathiasen got pasted.
I mean, it was a big play there because the punt wasn't necessarily a great punt. Just a 25-yard punt, but Maddox Weigel came up and laid the absolute wood to the punt returner.
Think you could take a hit like that anymore?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think I ever could.
I've probably been hit a few times like that in my life. I got a feeling. Not since football, though.
Under 5 to play, first half, 4:48 to tick down, and quarter number 2. Who's got it? It's Wermeyer. He's forward up over the 45-yard line. There's going to be a gain of just about 3 on the play. Levine is the one that makes the stop for Cheyenne.
Well, they've ran 25 rushes and 1 pass. That's pretty much standard for this team on the season. Even that, 2 touchdowns could be a huge deficit for Davies because they just can't throw the football.
Working here at the 45-yard line. Ball's going to be handed off a seam. Williams cutting free. He's up to the 45, and Williams falls down on the turf after the first down is gained. Lucas McDaniel comes up and makes the stop for Cheyenne.
Yeah, just came up from the safety spot, just tripped him up a little bit, got a nice block at the point of attack, and then actually came from behind, to just trip him up.
Ball on the 45-yard line. Cheyenne side of the field. Left hash. Davies working under center again. 3 in the backfield. Wermeyer's got it. Cuts free. Wermeyer up to the 32-yard line at the ankles. Making the play. Sullivan Irie comes in and makes a touchdown saving stop there for Cheyenne.
Yeah, they just kind of rumble in the middle and good block, and they got through to the secondary. And that's what you got to do, is you got to be able to kind of sloop, if we call a sloop and slip blocks, get out into the linebackers, and that's exactly what the Eagles offensive line is doing.
Ball on the 32-yard line. Davies on the move. Wermeyer got the handoff. He went forward with it up to nearly the 30-yard line, but he's wrapped up on the play, and making the stop was number 9 for Cheyenne, or was it 8 Levine possibly?
On the stop. Gain of 1 brings up 2nd and 9 for Davies.
Wermeyer 14 carries, 61 yards. He's got the only touchdown of the game for Davies. That was his 32nd on the season.
Working under center again, Muse. Here comes the blitz. Oh, what a play. Finding the seam right through the hole was Braden Olson, and the linebacker came in. That's going to be a stop for a loss. That was a big-time play on defense.
Well, you called that one as a nose guard. Mamadi Dory, he was the one who held the center. Trey Steckler allowed Braden Olson just to shoot through and absolutely blow up Carter Dewald.
You don't see that very often on this Davies offensive line, where they get blown up that way. That was a giant play. It's a loss, and now a 3rd and 13 faces Davies here, working from the 35-yard line. Back to pass. Muse off to Wermeyer. Wermeyer wrapped up at the ankles. This is going to be a loss again on the play, as Wermeyer wrapped up there by Lucas McDaniel again. And McDaniel's been busy here in this second quarter of football.
Yeah, he didn't start tonight, but boy, he's getting a lot of playing time. We're calling his name a lot. It's what you have to do. There's got to be a lot of one-on-one tackles, and I like what Cheyenne has done so far. They've really came up and stepped up and made those plays when they've had to.
4th down and 14 here for Davies. Play call coming in from Wayne Wermeyer, the head coach, in year number 5. 35-15 for a record. Former Jamestown Jimmy on the football field. Went off to get his master's degree from the University of Mary. Didn't play football for the Marauders. Played for the Jimmies, however. We're going to have a First International Bank and Trust timeout on the field here. And Davies wants to talk things over as they're faced with a 4th and 14. First International Bank and Trust. Locations all across Arizona, Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Started back in 1910, and they've grown to be a giant, haven't they, Chuck? First International Bank and Trust, proud supporter of our mission of promoting local athletes. At the break here with 1:25 left in this first half. How crucial is this next play really here for Davies?
I mean, every one of these 4th downs are crucial, obviously, but the key to me is going to be, what is a team that doesn't throw the football? What are they going to come up with? They've tried to come up with a couple things today. They've just completed one of them, and that was to Wermeyer, and the last one, who he got tackled for a loss. So when they're running it out of that main set, you know, you're not spreading the defense out. You're not doing those things. You got everybody within this small frame, and sometimes it's easier to defend that, especially on the pass.
Well, the 4th down play with 1:25 left in the first half. DeWalt goes into motion. Over to the left side of the line. Back to pass. Muse falling back here. He's got pressure. Muse taken down for a loss on the play. And coming up with the stop, Maddox Weigel wrapped him up. And Cheyenne gets the ball back after the defense comes up big.
Yeah, nobody was open as he tried that fake handoff. Dewald went in motion to the left side. He was picked up. The backside tight end, Gunnar Majerus, he was picked up. There was nothing for the quarterback, Xavier Muse, to do but try to put it down and run it. And a great job coming in from behind, making that tackle, and a sack for Maddox Weigel. So back to back to back, 2 tackles for losses and a sack.
1 minute, 19 seconds left here in the first half. Cheyenne gets the ball back, working from the gun at his own 38-yard line. Big play out to the near side. The pass was tossed out to Irie. It's going to be incomplete as it was over the head of the intended target. Sullivan Irie on the season has been targeted a handful of times. 45 to be exact, good enough for 667 yards on the year, 6 touchdowns on the season.
Yeah, he's their leader in terms of catching the football, although he doesn't start.
Well, the Mustangs work now with a 2nd down and 10. Ball at the 38-yard line. Minute 14 left of the first half. Cheyenne in those blue uniforms with the white pants, blue buckets, yellow cages, orange cages on those helmets. On the quarterback keeper, Caden Olson, all the way up to the 50-yard line, 1st down, and then the John Elway slide into 2nd safe.
Well, of course, he's number 7 too, so you called Elway on that one as he worked his way through the defense, showed his speed, cut back against the grain, picked up that 1st down, 11 yards on the run by the quarterback Olson.
Well, scoring points on this drive would be gigantic here for Cheyenne in the late portion of this first half. Olson fires it out into open ground. There is a flag on the play.
Yeah, I think they're going to, it's not intentional grounding. I'm not sure if he got hit from behind. Let's see what the call is going to be, because it surely shouldn't have been. There's somebody in the roughing the passer from behind. He's walking off right now. 53. Right here, Gus Wermeyer, a little frustration for Gus as he came from behind, hit the quarterback. Well, that's going to be 15 yards there.
That's a giant 15 yards.
That frustration maybe a little bit.
Well, 1st down and 10.
That's huge, and you got 3 timeouts, 54 seconds. That's all kinds of time for a game clock manager like Caden Olson.
Down to the 36-yard line of Davies. Olson in the pocket, plenty of time. Fires it out far side. Schlichting's got it, avoids a tackle. Up to the 35-30. Bulldozes his way forward before he's hit on the play by 21. Koepka comes in and makes the stop. Keepa, makes the stop.
That's what I was told. He called it Kapia. So Kapia. That's what we're going to go with what they said up top. I heard Keepa, but Kapia.
Kapia on the stop. We do apologize.
You know, sometimes you ask you'll ask 3 people on a name like that where it's Kiepea and you get 3 different names, and the people you think that should know the name. It's just Chris to me, man. Oh, what do you mean? It's Chris.
How do you like this? Timeout on the field, by the way. First International Bank and Trust timeout on the field. 14-7 Mustangs lead here at the tail end of our first half. 42 seconds remains in the first half. I used to call pro hockey out in New York, by the way.
Okay.
And this team had a bunch of French Canadians on it, and they would give you their name. I'd ask the same question. Well, that French Canadian accent isn't exactly easy to pick up every time. My goodness. C'est le bout, by the way, means he shoots, he scores.
Okay.
Or it's a goal. I don't know what it means. It was supposed to say when they scored.
That's what you were supposed to call from a Canadian side, the French?
Yeah, the French side.
C'est le bout.
Hopefully they weren't messing with me. I've been saying it all these years later, 20 years later, I still bring it up.
If you're French, you know what that means. Text Nick.
Yeah, and if I should quit saying it immediately, let me know as well. 2nd down and 2. Ball inside the 30-yard line of Davies with Cheyenne on the move. Olson taking a shot, trying to go to Sullivan. Irie, he's out after the football. Flag on the play back at the 15-yard line. Irie ended up on the ground. The coverage there, the secondary for Davies again.
Yeah, they had good coverage, double coverage. They kind of slotted him over the top with Colton Tesha, underneath with Kapia, but ultimately I think they're going to call something, maybe illegal touch or illegal contact, maybe at the 15.
Pass interference.
Actual pass interference. Maybe he grabbed onto him when Irie got by him, so that's going to be another 15-yard penalty. That's going to take it all the way down to the 13-yard line, Nick. So you got 2 15-yard penalties on this drive. Big time right there.
Well, Kapia doesn't like the call. You can see his body language and frustration standing at the 10-yard line. Wayne Wermeyer, same thing here on the near sideline, and now deep inside the Serve-Pro red zone are the Cheyenne Mustangs, working from the right hash. Ball on the 14, 36 seconds left in the first half of football. Two wide receivers on the right side, two on the left. Olsen has space, scampering down inside the 10, 5, and Olsen dives forward on the play after Tesh made the stop. And a touchdown saving stop at that.
Nobody open. I like just good, smart placing. Nobody's there. I'm going to tuck it. I'm going to go down and see if I can pick up the first down. Bad spot.
2nd down and 1 here. Dancing to the right, to the left. Schlichting wrapped up at the ankles. It will be a first down coming here, and a first down and goal. Or where do they spot the football? It is a 1st and goal for Cheyenne with 7 seconds left in the first half.
I don't know why they didn't call him timeout. Why would they not call it? What are they doing?
There's the timeout. There it is.
What's 2 seconds? I'm lost. They just cost yourself 2 seconds, which could potentially be a play. That's not very good clock management right there, Nick.
Well, and it was Davies that called the timeout too, Chuck, by the way.
Huh?
That's what was announced by the white hat on the field.
Okay.
I'm almost positive. Yeah, it was. I mean, Davies now has 1 timeout remaining compared to the Mustangs 2.
This is the second half, the second quarter, is it not? You got 5 seconds. I mean, to me, it's an immediate. I think it was probably closer to 9 or 10 seconds when he went down. It's like, boom. Now I know I got 2 opportunities to get a first or a touchdown, and maybe there's under review. They want to take a look to see where the clock was when he got the first down, because possibly that the clock operator didn't stop it like he was supposed to on a first down. Yeah.
There, good call. 7 seconds now on the clock.
He shouldn't have restarted it because that was a first down.
14-7 Mustangs on top of the BNC National Bank scoreboard. 7 seconds left in the first half of football. Deep inside the Serve Pro red zone are the Cheyenne Mustangs. 2 wide receivers on the right, 2 on the left, 1 in the backfield. It's Schlichting lined up behind Caden Olsen, who works from the gun. Olsen, quick hitter, corner of the end zone, trying to go up into the hands of the intended target, Caleb Haas, incomplete. Liam Wicklow, the safety, was there in the coverage again.
Everybody was blanketed. I loved it. It was man-to-man coverage across the line, and boy, there was nobody open. See if they go for a field goal. I mean, why wouldn't you get a field goal? I think they got Gullix. He's 6 for 9 kicking field. Well, they is. Hello. They are kicking a field goal. Gullix has kicked 6 field goals. I think 9 is the record in the season, and
20-yard attempt
pretty
coming
solid here. Hasn't missed an extra point. This is pretty much an extra point.
Snap back, hold down, kick up.
Did I just jinx him? No.
Through the uprights. You can add 3 onto the Mustang total. 17-7. We have reached halftime. The Mustangs walk off the first half with a 20-yard field goal attempt that is good. It's 17-7 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Join us for our Magic Towing halftime report. It comes up next on the PSP Network. Cheyenne by 2 possessions in the state title game.
Ordinary guy, but right now Gary has car trouble. Gary doesn't know about magic towing. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing. We are here to help 24/7. Magic Towing in Western North Dakota. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing.
To you by.
like, and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. PSP Network. It's game day.
The foundation of the financial planning approach at Legacy Financial Partners is a personal relationship. Our unique and collaborative approach to financial planning starts with your dreams, not just the numbers. We will work with you regularly to take action to update your plan as your needs evolve, recommending products and services that are right for your situation.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Shields Visa is more than just a card. It's the freedom to go. It's a gateway to explore and do more of what you love. Imagine where the Shields Visa can take you. So join us in discovering endless possibilities. Shields Visa. Together, we've got this.
Meet Gary. Gary is an ordinary guy, but right now Gary has car trouble. Gary doesn't know about magic towing. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing. We are here to help 24/7. Magic Towing in Western North Dakota. Don't be like Gary. Remember the name and the number. It's Magic Towing.
Davies looking for their first ever state title. Cheyenne looking for their second and first since 2021. We're halfway in, halfway home of the 3A state championship, and at our Magic Towing halftime, we've got ourselves a 17-7 ball game. Cheyenne leading FARGO Davies. Welcome into the Magic Towing halftime report. Magic Towing, you blow it, we tow it. Put this number in your phone now. You'll be glad you did. 701-509-4011. Mention PSP and you will receive $50 off on the tow. Nick Holberg alongside of the former UND standout on the gridiron, Mr. Chuck Claremont. Well, you said it best. We knew who they were going to be. Is that the term that you used?
They are who we thought they were, right?
They are who we thought they are. And I'm telling you right now, Davies did a nice job in that first half, but Ty Schlichting was the one that maybe did a little bit better of a job finding the seam and getting to the end zone twice. Cheyenne leads 17-7. Your overall takeaway of the first half?
Well, I thought West Fargo Cheyenne settled down. That first drive of Davies, I mean, they basically came out and just punched him in the mouth, went right down the field. 12 consecutive runs, took over 5 minutes off the clock, 58 yards. They're up 7-0, and all of a sudden they're beating their chest going, right here, here's where we are, and then made some adjustments. The next 3 possessions, 2 of them stopped on downs, and 1 was a 3 and out. So that West Fargo Cheyenne defense adjusted, and that's what you have to do, whether it's each series, at the end of the half, at the end of the quarters. And obviously Jeremy Newton and his defensive coordinator and coaches, they made some changes, and maybe people just started doing what they were supposed to do. And hopefully we can get an update at some point in time how Petschak is doing. We'll keep an eye on him, where he comes out, because him being out is a huge deal. But he was out the last 2 drives for Davies, and Cheyenne, their subs came in and they kind of next man up. They were able to bend a little bit but not break. So I like what Cheyenne did in that first half. And then they took the ball right down, got a couple big penalties the last drive of the first half, was able to get 3 on the board, and that 3 on the board could be big. Let's be real, they won 3-0 the first time they played, so 3 points could be huge.
3 points could be ginormous without a doubt. And going back to Petchak for just a moment, the Nebraska commit, the Senior Athlete of the Year inside of the EDC. How often have you seen it in sports where your leader or a top guy goes down and then all of a sudden you've got the Hollywood script around and everybody rallies around that? That's not always a situation where if you're Davies, you're looking at it saying, oh, look at this. We've got the best player on the field no longer on the field. That's not always a good thing in these situations.
Well, you know what you have to have? You got to have leaders, okay? And whether it's Caden Olson, Maddox Weigel, Kyle Schlichting, Tate Herman, I mean, you got a lot of seniors on this team. 2 guys on the front line, Schobinger, Nyok, Gilseth, Matt. I mean, there's all these senior leaders on this football team, and that's what it takes. It takes the seniors to step up and be the ones. And I was watching the Red River team, and Red River, when they had their guy Kraft go down and it's with a collarbone injury, he didn't play the whole second half and part of that first, and it's like nobody seemed to step up and take that role like, I got this, hey, I got you, don't worry about it, you know? And you've been in sports long enough, Nick, to know that is somebody's got to do that, right? Usually when you have a guy like that go down, and so we'll see if that continues to happen that second half, if Cheyenne, if they do have that next man up mentality. I mean, I don't know if I like that saying because the next man up isn't as good as Cade Petchak, let's be real, okay? Because maybe nobody in the States is as good as Cade Petchak. So when that guy goes down, it's going to take more than one guy to fill his shoes potentially. But so far, so good for Cheyenne. I do have a question for you. The last time Davies wins their state championship, the only time back in 2014, they beat Minot 41-10. Where were you in 2014? Were you here watching that game? Were you? I mean, you were a Minot through and through guy, right? Where were you?
I was not. I'm sure that I watched it, but I don't recall where that would have been.
PSP wasn't around then. I mean, they weren't.
We were not at that point of broadcasting Minot High football yet at that time. So no, we were not here. Scotty Cattell would have had the call.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And I do apologize. By the way, I said Davies looking for their first ever crown. They do have one, as you mentioned, with that win over Minot. Cheyenne with one as well coming into this ball game here today. I'm not exactly aware of that answer. That's a good question, however. And you look at the tradition and the histories of these teams and what we've seen at the Dakota Bowl today. I think that's one thing before we go into our scoring recap here on our Magic Towing halftime report that I find so intriguing about what we're seeing in the landscape of high school football in North Dakota. You don't have the Bismarck Demons here this year. You don't have the Century Patriots here this year and the powers that they were. West Fargo's no longer the power that they were. Shanley didn't have the year that they had. The door opens up for somebody else to get another title. And when you look at the 2A world like we saw today, pretty interesting seeing Horace win a state title over Red River today as well. And, of course, that comment and what I said makes a whole lot of sense until you talk about the first game of the day, watching Valvo win number 11 or 12 all time.
12, I'm sorry, 12. That's 10. I think Larry Sandy got his 10th, right, when in 2022. So this would have been, and they had 11 at the time. I think this is their 12th overall. But obviously that power, that's a different thing. But I was going to comment as I'm taking a look at some of my notes that, well, guess who was the co-partner with West Fargo Cheyenne back in 2020? Horace. Look what happened to Horace in just 4 simple years. They go from being a partner with Cheyenne to winning AA football, and you can see how quickly some of these schools and areas really build in West Fargo. Horace, if you go down southwest of Fargo, holy cow, are they building? It is crazy, and to see all the people that were here for Horace and the support they had for that school, that was amazing, pretty impressive for Harvey McMahon IV and that Horace team to get that victory. Well, they could have been playing, with Cheyenne.
Think about how good they'd be then.
Boy.
My goodness. Well, we've got ourselves a ball game in the 3A title matchup earlier on today. Velvet took down Kindred 14-12. New Rockford Cheyenne Maddox beat LLM 62-26. West Fargo Horace takes down Red River 14-8, and at the break here at 17-7, Cheyenne over Davies. When we come back, Chuck will have the recap of the stats of the first half of football. We'll get you prepared for the second as Davies and Cheyenne battle it out, looking for their second state title ever on both sides here tonight. We've got ourselves a good one at the Fargo Dome. More to come on our halftime report, brought to you by Magic Towing.
Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold up. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Magic Towing halftime report rolls on. Magic Towing, you blow it, we tow it. Put this number in your phone now. You'll be glad that you did. 701-509-4011. Alongside of the former UND greats, Chuck Claremont, I'm Nick Holbert. Chuck, well, we've got ourselves 24 minutes left of football. 10-point lead for the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs. How did they do it, my friend, on the Ryan Family Dealerships Rewind?
Well, did it like this. Malachi Warmeyer, 14 carries, 61 yards, a 14-yard touchdown run. The first one to get the Davies Eagles on the board. Carter Dewald, 10 carries, 28 yards. Colin Williams, nice first half, 5 carries for 35. Muse has 1 for -2 on his sack. And Muse throwing, well, 1 for 2 for -1. And Malachi Warmeyer caught that. That's the offense for the Davies Eagles. For the Cheyenne Mustangs, West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs, 8 carries for 83 yards for Kyle Schlichting. He's got a 44-yard run and a 38-yard run. You can tell that the other ones have not been very successful, but hey, he's got 2 big ones. That's all that counts, and both of those went in for scores. Caden Olson, the quarterback, 2 for 19 yards rushing. Olson, nice first half, throwing 5 of 9, 53 yards. Kyle Schlichting's his favorite receiver, 3 catches for 24. Cash Gilseth has 1 for 7. And Haas has 1 for 22. Team statistics today, 30 rushes for Davies in the first half, 120 yards. That's a 40-yard average. The Mustangs have 10 carries for 102. That's a 10-yard per carry average. -1 yard passing for Davies. Cheyenne has 53, so 32 plays for Davies, 119 yards. Cheyenne has 19 plays for 155. Each team has 1 punch, 4 penalties for Davies. Cheyenne doesn't have any, so they are playing a very clean football game. Davies has 8 first downs, Cheyenne has 6. There is a sack in the first half by Maddox Weigel, a big one there on Muse, a tackle for loss for Alex Meese, and then on the Davies side, 3 for Cheyenne. They've been just flying around defensively as Isaiah Lincoln's got 1, Braden Olson has 1, and Lucas McDaniel has 1. You look at time of possession. Well, we know where that's going to be. That's going to be on the side of Davies. Davies 15:08 to 8:52. But the most important thing in the game is the 17-7 lead for the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs.
If you're in the room right now, by the way, thanks to Ryan Family Dealerships for bringing you that recap. Chuck, job well done. If you're Davies right now and Wayne Wermeyer, is there one major point of emphasis in the locker room at the break?
Oh man, I mean, a couple big plays, and that's the difference of the football game, and that's what his coach is probably saying. Hey, we just got to tighten things up. No reason to panic. 17-7, it's 2 possessions, it's 2, right? That's all it's going to take us. And ultimately, I think Davies gets the football first, correct, as they deferred. So they'll get the football, so he's like, hey, let's just play some Davies football. Let's drive down, let's punch him in the mouth again to start this second half, and let's just play good, solid defensive effort that's got us to this point where we've only lost 1 time the entire season. So I don't think there's going to be any panicking for head coach Wermeyer for the Davies Eagles.
How about Jeremy Newton on the other side? You've already scored 14 more points than he did in the last matchup against Davies. Are you tickled pink with how things went in that first half?
I think you're pleased, right? You're getting some open plays. I like how Caden Olson, you can't help but like how he runs the game, right? I mean, just a great game and clock manager, makes the right plays, throws the ball away when he needs to. I think if you're Coach Newton, you're saying, hey, we got the right guy leading us right there, and Schlichting, he's really stepped up. He's ran the ball extremely well in that first half. Not to mention, he's caught 3 passes, so he's kind of been their main event in that first half. Continue to hold the course on the defensive side, and no turnovers. That is the key, right? No turnovers for either team. The first time Davies had 4 turnovers, and a lot of them were deep in the territory of the Mustangs. So no turnovers and a clean football game. I'm trying to see, let me see if I can find Pet Shock.
Yeah, big 55. The Nebraska commit went down in that first half. If you're just joining us, we didn't see him for the remainder of the First half of football.
I don't see him.
Bad news for Cheyenne. Hopefully the big man is going to be all right. Well, it's 17-7. Cheyenne on top of Davies. Time for our second half of football. Second half brought to you by our friends at Shields. Shields of Monmouth and Bismarck has every sporting good possible, along with footwear and fashion. It's shields.com. Browse that inventory online. My goodness, they've got everything from hunting and fishing gear, footwear, fashion, every sporting good underneath the sun. Actually bought these shorts and these shoes there.
Today?
Bought these underwear there.
Wow,
I'm telling
look at you.
Well, not today,
Okay.
but I didn't have time today.
You got a Shields credit card? You just, charge it up, or are you a cash guy?
That lady asks me, every lady at the counter asks me every single time, and I always say I don't know if that will be the best idea for me. However, I think it's a good idea to do it, and a good idea to visit Shields of Monmouth.
There you go.
And Bismarck. Cheyenne will kick off to start the second half. They're in white pants, blue uniforms, blue helmets with the orange trim. Davies awaiting the opening kick of the second half in all white. Crimson has a trim and crimson numbers on the back of the uniforms. Vegas gold helmets and trim as well. Here comes the opening kick to the second half. It goes down to the 25-yard line. It's going to be fielded here. Back on the run. Forward with the football goes number 3 for the Eagles. That's Mathiasen. He gets up near the 40-yard line, and Davies will come out with a first down and 10 to start things off here in the second half, trailing by 10 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
Well, the guy getting a start in place of Petschak is Mamadi Dory, 6'2", 210-pound junior. He's the guy I think they moved him to the middle. Let's see where they have him lined up. Yeah, he's lined up at the nose guard.
From the right hash here with 11:55 to play, third quarter. Muse works from under center, 3 in the backfield again. They hand off, moving over towards the left side, finding a bit of a seam, and then bulldozing his way forward is Carter DeWald. And DeWald gets forward. What is it about that Davies run? It just seems like the extra yards after the tackle are something mesmerizing to watch, really.
Well, these running backs, they run hard, and then they have so many people around the football that there's guys turning and helping him, right? I mean, that's what you can do nowadays.
Brings up a second down and 5, ball on the 44-yard line. Davies side of the field working on their first offensive drive of the second half. This time, DeWald gets the carry again. He's up over the 45 to the 46 before he's brought down by the nose tackle, Brennan Gable.
It's this 3 yards in a cloud of dust mentality for the Eagles. It's got them 10 wins on the season.
10-1 overall, 3-1 inside the EDC. They were unbeaten at home, 4-1 on the road. Took second to the EDC. The final rankings, according to the media in our state, had them at number 3. Minot was 1, Cheyenne was 2. By the way, both these East Region teams beat the Magi on the season. Handoff went to Wermeyer, and Dorr was the one that had the stop, the Petschak replacement here. Dory was the one, that made the stop.
Yeah, Wermeyer just kind of put his head down, and Dory just shoved it right into the ground, short of the first down.
4th and 2 for Davies on their own.
4th down and 2. Davies will go for it. Ball on their own 47-yard line. Talk about a big play in the ball game. They're going to hand off. Williams trying to cut free. He does. Plenty for a first down. Busting over the 50-yard line. Sullivan Irie comes in from the corner position to make the stop, but it's Williams that gets it up for a first down and some.
That's their play. Nice chip blocked by Wermeyer because Weigel was in the backfield. Great job by Malachi, turning blocker, was able to get a nice turnout and allow Williams to get that first down.
Ball's at the 48-yard line now of Cheyenne as they work right on top of the Bison stamp at midfield. Ball's going to be handed off. DeWald on the rush, dancing over the 45 down to the 44 before he's wrangled up on the play. Tommy Levine comes in and makes the stop there for Cheyenne, and it brings up a second down. And let's count it, probably second down and 6 coming. Here it is.
They're eerily similar to that first drive, right? We've got 5 runs, just kind of slowly pushing your way down the field.
Well, when you go 10-1 on the season and dominate the way that Davies has on the year, they haven't had this situation that's faced them many times where they trail in a ball game, especially by 10. The stop is made from Braden Olson as DeWald carries it ahead.
And like I said, though, you can see Coach Wermeyer saying, hey, we're not going to panic. We're going to come out. We're going to score. We're going to be down 3 points. We're going to stop them. We're going to get the ball back. And we're going to score again. I mean, that's what he's saying. This is a very confident football team.
370 points on the year for Davies coming into the state title game. Averaging 329 yards of total offense per game. And keep in mind, they've done that while only passing 261 yards total on the year. Handoff on the third down. Wermeyer forward. Wermeyer is going to be close to the first down marker as he got over the 40-yard line. It will bring up a 4th down and 1 coming here, Chuck.
Gable's the one who made the tackle, and yeah, they're going to go for it again. Is 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards. That makes, they're going to give him a first down. They're going to say he got across to the 38-yard line. That's a pretty good spot right there. It looked like he might have been shoved in the ground about the 39, but officials say nope, we're going to give him a first down, not even measure.
8:25 ticking down here in the third quarter. 17-7. Mustangs on top. Ball spotted here at the 38 on the Cheyenne side of the field from the left hash. 3 set back in the backfield as they go to the quarterback. Muse option play, gets it off. Dewald over the 30. He's wrangled up and pasted on the near sideline, but a big run again. The big man coming in, Xander Mowry, comes in and makes the stop.
And I like what they did. They faked that handoff. He pulled it. The quarterback Muse running a great job with that down the line option, got the ball to the outside, kind of like what the old Bison used to do, in the Bentrim days. They ran this a lot. The pitch to Chad Stark. This time it was Dewald who went to the outside and picked up another first down.
Did you get any Bison swag when you're inside the dome today?
I don't know. I must not have. I don't know why. I must run out of money there, Nick.
Yeah,
nice.
Well,
that's funny. Good one.
Yeah. You never hear those jokes, I'm sure. Here goes Malachi Wermeyer, left to the right, forward.
Malachi Wermeyer.
Near the first down marker again. That time the stop from Braden Olson. I only say that to Chuck because I'm a Fighting Hawks fan myself, and Chuck was a captain of UND football back in the day.
I cheer for kids, right? There's kids that from Bismarck or other areas that I see go play there, so it's always been that case where you're definitely cheer for kids. You don't get to cheer for the team, but you cheer for the success. And me as a UND guy, you cheer for the success of the kids.
Yeah, without a doubt. Inside the ServPro red zone we go now. Chuck says good one. Handed off. Not much gained on that play is coming in on the stop. Dewald was the one on the rush, and the stop was made from Tate Herman, and Herman on the defensive side comes up big.
Yeah, Herman, we haven't heard his name much from the defensive end spot, but he grabbed a hold of him, pulled him down, but not before he picked up that big, just 1 yard, but it was all they needed in order to get the first down.
7-10 ticks down here, third quarter. Davies on the move on the opening drive of the second half. Ball inside the ServPro red zone. 24/7 emergency service, trained technicians and advanced technology. It's ServPro. Wermeyer somehow gets free like a minnow off a hook and dives forward for 3 on the play.
That's exactly what it was, Nick. Is Jamison Allen, he had a hold of him, but the legs of Wermeyer just kept pounding, pulled away from the hook, if you want to call it that, and got a couple yards. That's so funny because that's really exactly what happened.
Well, when he ended up on the ground, kind of looked like a fish out of water as well. Wermeyer's the real deal. This kid has been so fun to watch here for Fargo Davies. He lines up directly behind Muse, the quarterback, but they go over to Williams. Williams fumble. Football's on the ground. Cheyenne's got it. You don't see that very often. Williams fumbled the football. McDaniel comes up with it as it bounced off the turf inside the 20-yard line, and Cheyenne gets the ball back.
Maddox Weigel's the one that caused it as Weigel came from behind, knocked it away, went forward to McDaniel, and that's a name, not starting, but boy, he came up big. He's played a lot of big minutes today.
First turnover in the ball game that we've seen. Oh, they're going to review it now as we go to the review here, Chuck.
I don't know. It seemed to me that he was out. He punched it from behind, and it was out before he went down, but that was in my binoculars.
Well, when they review it here, they're looking to make sure he wasn't down first. That's really all that they can look for.
I would think that that's what they're doing, and it appeared to me that he was not down, that he was, but they get to replay. We don't get to see it, apparently. They're not going to show us until after the fact, probably.
Well, they keep the replay guys safe here, especially after last year in that state title game with Minot and Shanley. They reviewed everything last year, it seemed.
I didn't see that one.
Well, I'm sure you heard about it. I had to tiptoe a line. I got a little homerish towards mine in high school last year with. I wasn't a fan of the review. You can't review a forward progress, can you? And there was things like that seemed like reviews left and right. They've done a nice job here today, without a doubt.
I think they surely have. They've been, and every review that they've shown a close-up to, it has been the right call.
Yeah, by the way, everybody involved here has done a fantastic job on the officiating side of things.
Absolutely.
Well, it's still under review. Cheyenne's lined up on offense here, still waiting for this call to be made. Here comes the call.
After review, the ruling on the field of fumble is confirmed. Recovered by West Oregon Cheyenne.
Yeah, the only complaint I would have about the Dakota Bowl would be, as you guys mentioned earlier on today, I'd like to see state titles not be handed out at 9 o'clock in the morning.
I mean, even if you had one game like on Thursday night or something, because that first game is just not right. Starting at noon, that's not as big of a deal, right? I mean, you can play at noon, but starting at 9 in the morning, that's just not right.
Well, the fumble call on the field stands. Caden Olson comes back out on offense, working from the gun with one in the backfield. Schlichting's the one that takes the handoff. He's going to barrel his way forward over the 15-yard line, and it will bring up a second down here for Cheyenne as time wears down to 6 minutes and 6 seconds left in this third quarter. This ball game has gone quick.
Well, that last drive, almost 6 minutes. You know, they went 12 plays, all running plays again, just like the first drive of the game, but this time it ended up badly. So, but that ticked away a lot of the first quarter or third quarter.
2nd and 7. Ball at Cheyenne's 17-yard line on their own 17 as they hand off again. Seam opens up. Schlichting gets over the 22-yard line before he's wrangled up on the play. Tesh was in on the stop along with Lincoln.
Nope, let's try that again.
Oh,
wrong color.
Me.
You're right, Tesh. You got it right.
Kapia was in on the stop with Tesh.
And I like what Schlichting did there, though. What did he do? He just put his head down and said, okay, instead of bouncing it outside and running side to side, he put his head down, tried to get that first down, picked up as many yards as he could.
776 yards on the year coming into the ball game for Schlichting in the state title matchup. 38 to the house and 44 to the house helps that season total without question. A pass to Irie, complete up to the 45, 50, 45. All the way down to the 20, 15, 10, 5, high fives his teammate into the end zone. Touchdown, West Fargo Cheyenne.
78 yards. They read it. It was man-to-man on the outside. What a throw by quarterback Caden Olson. Almost got tipped by the defense, but Irie kept his eyes on it. What great concentration. He came up with it, and then it was Katie bar the door. Nobody was catching the senior Sullivan Irie for his 7th touchdown of the season as he goes 78 yards to the house.
Well, I like how he stops at the 5-yard line to high five Caleb Haas.
I didn't see that.
Hey, brother, we're into the end zone for another 6.
Caleb Haas, as soon as he caught the football, he was at the 50-yard line. He put the arm up like that's a touchdown.
Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up. And just like clockwork again, no problem for Gullix in this ball game. 24-7, Cheyenne now has a commanding lead. Watch this replay back as they took it off the screen on the way to the break, Chuck. But the high five is worth the highlight reel at the end of the year for Cheyenne. I'm telling you right now. 24-7, Mustangs on top here in the state championship.
Red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Well, a scoring drive after a fumble recovery as Cheyenne up big, I would say, in this ball game right now, 24-7. And I only say
it's big.
I would only say that only for the fact that you're not going to get those big plays coming from Davies. It's just slow and steady as you go with, 5 to 7, maybe 3 to 7 yards at a time. And the way Cheyenne's defense has played here today, they're not breathing easy, but there's a lot more real estate for comfort than the other direction for Davies.
Well, I think that's the issue is Davies, they are not a come-from-behind team. I mean, when you've only thrown the football 42 times on the season, you haven't ran those offenses. You haven't ran the spread formations. You haven't done the things you needed to. And Muse, I mean, there's guys throwing 42 in a game, right? And so when you haven't practiced it, it's hard to all of a sudden turn it on in the last game of the season.
Well, Cheyenne will come on to boot the football back away. Waiting for it back at his own 10-yard line is Tesh. Ball's in the air. This is a short kick up to the 25. It will be fielded here. Mathiasen breaking free to the outside edge. He gets all the way up to the 40, then near the 45, and Mathiasen wrangled up and taken down on the play, but Davies' offense comes back out. This drive is brought to you by our friends at Northern Plains Heating and Air. No other choice to seal your heating and air game than Northern Plains Heating and Air. And we've got a First International Bank and Trust timeout on the field.
TV timeout, right?
Northwest Designs is proud to be an official.
Well, we'll take the media timeout with them. 24-7. Mustangs lead in the 3A state championship matchup.
Of the stadium today to get your official.
Well, the PSP Network's mission is promoting local athletes in our great state of North Dakota. You can help our mission by hitting subscribe on YouTube. Also, make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. We released our schedule coming up for the winter season. And Chuck, I don't know if you're ready for it or not, but my goodness, we've got ourselves a load of games coming your way here in the next few months.
We do. We'll get my voice ready. I got to give a shout out to my granddaughter, Maris. They're driving back, or they're driving, I think, back from hockey. Maris, love you, whole family. Kelly and Porter and Briggs, they're all in the car. So drive safe. We'll see you Sunday morning.
Fantastic stuff. And I promise I won't make any more bison chokes to Grandpa here tonight.
It's all right. It's all right.
Second down and 6 on a gain of 4 here for Davies. They work at the 50-yard line, right hash, trailing in the ball game 24-7. The option play again, Muse is going to be taken down to the ground, and on the stop, Braden Olson, the linebacker, came in.
First time Muse has really carried the football. This time they stopped the pitch formation. I like what Davies is doing now too. Is they're getting it. They can't just. They got to get in and out of the huddle, I should say.
Hurry up offense on the field for Davies on the 3rd down and 4. Williams gets the football back. He's got a first down and then some. And that physical defensive line of Cheyenne doing what they can, but now Davies starting to run at will just a bit here on this hurry up with under 4 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. It's a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10, ball on the Cheyenne 41-yard line. This is almost a must-score situation and drive for Fargo Davies in my mind.
Oh, I would agree.
Forward on the carry, Malachi Wermeyer. Sorry, it was Dewald that was forward on the play.
You know, it isn't like you can put up 7. I want 7 to run it. Put up 88. I mean, there isn't a lot of different plays what you're running. It's probably a handful at most.
Under center working here. Ball's going to be handed off. Wermeyer takes it. Oh, Wermeyer gets yards on the play, just about 3, but he is tattooed hard on the play. In on the stop, Bowery was there again.
Lucas McDaniel on the tackle.
Yeah, he was kind of stuffed at the point of attack, but he bounced outside. 85 yards now on 20 carries for Wermeyer.
On the 3rd down. Moving forward, Dewald busts free up to the 30-yard line. That will be enough for a first down. Stop was made from Levine. Under 3 to play here in the 3rd quarter, and the hurry-up offense starting to be a factor here.
It's working absolutely. It's wearing down Davie or West Fargo Cheyenne, not allowing them to basically substitute.
On the handoff, Williams works over to the left and dances to the right. Almost to the edge. He's got a big gain on the play.
Carried 3 Cheyenne Mustangs on that run.
5-yard pickup brings up a second down at 5 from the right hash. Ball's marked here at the 25-yard line. Knocking on the ServPro red zone doorstep are the Eagles as they work here with Muse. Handing off, Wermeyer cutting free. Wermeyer's got a seam, bust free up to the 10-yard line, down to the 7 of Malachi Wermeyer. Almost got down to the end zone.
I mean, he has such a forward lean, low to the ground, great balance, great strength in his legs, just keeps his legs churning inside the 10-yard line, pickup of 17.
24/7 emergency service, trained technicians, advanced technology at ServPro. First down and goal, pushing the group over to the right side of the 5-yard line on the carry by committee, if you will, as Wermeyer's down to the 5 before the stop is made.
You know, and Wermeyer right now, he's already over 100 yards right now, 23 carries, 109 yards. So you talk about a workhorse, that's Wermeyer. 256 times he's carried the football coming into this game. That's 25 basically times a game he's touching it.
He has been stellar on the season. They don't go to him here, however. They go to Dewald, dancing forward, reaching for the goal line. He's going to be close, but the stop is made.
Yeah, the official came flying in from the side and said, nope, he was short of the first down or short of the touchdown at line to gain.
Zach Benzie was the one there at the goal line that made the stop, and it now is a 3rd down and a short one into the end zone as Buse is going to hand off here, trying to go to Wermeyer. Do they stop him?
I think they did.
Slam.
No, they did. And you talk about time. We're looking at, 25, 30 seconds. Every second counts. And now because they haven't been able to get in the last 2 times, that's what's happened.
Well, it brings up a 4th down and goal. You want to talk about a big play in the ball game? This is it. Both teams work with 3 timeouts here with 38 seconds left here in this 3rd quarter of football. Cheyenne fans come alive. Davies fans are at volume as well. 3 in the backfield from the 1-yard line. Hand it off. They push into the end zone, it seems. Are they in for the touchdown? Touchdown.
Yeah, that was a form of a tush push, but ultimately it was a quarterback handing off to, I think it was Wermeyer, right? And then he turned and just was helping shove him in from the backside. Who's unpiling? Let's see. Who's finally getting up with the ball?
I think it's 7.
I think it was Wermeyer. He's running off. So touchdown for Wermeyer, his 2nd of the game.
Looks like you and I trying to get into Walmart on Black Friday for one of those 75-inch TVs for $350, my friend. Push them through, Chuck. We're getting in here.
Exactly.
Point after attempt on its way. 24-13. Cheyenne on top, and Davies just scored. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up, it's good. 10 points is now the difference in the title game. Cheyenne leads Fargo Davies, but the hurry-up offense has changed the game here for Davies in this 3rd quarter of play. The BNC National Bank scoreboard once again, Cheyenne 24, Davies 14, 21 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
In your life, and banking at the right bank is very important. We're really proud of our bank because we have great people, and our people are what make our bank go. We always want to treat our customers right and do the best job we can for them, and try to do things to help make our communities better.
Ryan Family Dealerships has a massive inventory that you can browse online at driveryan.com. Chuck, do you have the Ryan Family Dealership drive recap after Davies gets into the end zone?
I do. Thank you, man. I love it. Way to go. 12 plays. That's the hurry-up offense. 12 plays, 4 minutes and 23 seconds. All runs, 54 yards, 3 first downs for the Eagles. So, and that's the problem is if your hurry-up's 4 minutes. Oh.
Onside kick coming here. There is a flag on the play.
Offsides. Boy, they were in good position right there, as I couldn't see if the guy in the far end, like, was it Mathiasen? Is he the one who was running?
Kicking team number 3.
Yeah, Mathiasen was offsides. Owie. As they caught everybody off guard, us included, because they, on the far side, they had Mamadou Dore. He was the one he was backpedaling. Now he's coming off. They're saying, okay, we got to get you off. Sullivan Ira, you got to get in the hands team.
Well, do you go for the onside again? You show your hand here.
I'd probably not. I'm guessing not.
Well, they're going to have to kick off from their own 35-yard line here, trailing 14-24. Talking about Davies, of course, after they just scored Eagles are going to try again on the kick, and this time, boom, it's going to be taken deep into the end zone, and through the back of the end zone it goes.
This guy can kick. Who's kicking?
After the touchback, the Mustangs take over 1st and 10.
Colby Nelson. I was watching him in warm-ups too. He can kick 50-yarders. He's got a legit leg.
Yeah, through the back of the yellow painted end zone that says NDSU, home to the Bison. Well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm a Hawks fan. I'm just going to say it.
I'm just giving you a bad time. Hey, well, how about the 40-yard into the wind kick for the Minot guy last week? That must have been somebody told me he would easily made it. I'm not sure who the kicker is.
That was the Davies kicker.
Oh, that was Davies' kicker.
Yes.
Oh, hello. No, okay, now it makes sense.
That was correct. And my goodness, yeah, when they went for that, Bryce and I kind of scratched our heads when it went through the uprights. We both looked at each other and said, yes, Wayne knows what he's doing without a doubt.
Well, you were thinking when he went for it, you're like, what are you doing? It's into the wind, a 10-mile-an-hour wind. It's a 40-yard field goal. It's high school. No way.
This is not going to happen, and it certainly didn't. And there was plenty of leg there to boot. Down to 3 seconds, now 2, now 1. We are at the end of the third quarter. We've got a quarter left in the state championship game tonight, Chuck. 10-point lead, West Fargo Cheyenne on top of Davies. This fourth quarter could have some fireworks to it. I wouldn't go anywhere just yet. We'll crown a 3A title and a champion coming up within the next hour, I'd have to assume, here at the Fargo Dome.
Your excitement, fans. It's time.
Fetch it.
Drop it.
And drop it.
Drop it.
We want to fix it ourselves. And actually fix it. We want to order the market price lobster. And know the market price of the lobster.
How much is... Whatever the market says.
Sadly, we can't have it all. Except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
Time for the fourth quarter of the 3A state title game. It's brought to you by Northern Plains Heating and Air. No other choice to seal your heating and air game. The Northern Plains Heating and Air trailing by 10 as Davies, as Cheyenne has the football back at their own 20. Nick Colberg alongside one of the greats at University of North Dakota, one of the greats at Bismarck High School. It's Chuck Claremont. You won a state title back in the 80s, Chuck.
Yeah, 84. We hadn't won Bismarck hadn't won a title, and I don't think it was like 30 years, and then they went back-to-back. Feeney was our quarterback. Wayne Yeager played football here at NDSU. Troy Ismer was a running back. We had a solid football team. Lost once to Dickinson, and then beat them in the state championship.
I have a question for you after the second down play coming here. Second down and 9. Olsen back to pass. Fires it out. It's complete. Sullivan Irie's got it. He's gang tackled there as Wermeyer comes in over the top to help on the tackle. Ball got to the 25-yard line. Third down and 5 coming here. In all honesty, in your lifetime, a high school state championship for Bismarck High back then, where does that rank in memories for you?
From a sports perspective, I mean, it's a big one, obviously. I mean, I won a couple track individual championships, but there's nothing better than a team championship, you know what I mean? Just having your guys bonding, and I can remember the big party we had back in Bismarck when we got back, and we still talk about it, obviously, to this day.
Well, I think about that and how many memories are made on a day where 4 state champions are crowned here at the Dakota Bowl. There's a pass that's out. It's complete into the hands and goes of Caleb Haas. He's up over the 45-yard line. Olsen was tattooed on the play, but the pass was out and complete in the flat, and Cheyenne's on the move.
He just hung in there and got pressure from up the field and hit him right in the chest after he released it. Great pass all the way across the field, with his receiver doing an out pattern, as you mentioned, Caleb Haas. That's just a great quarterback, Caden Olsen. Great season last year, 2,200 yards. This year, he's going to finish with probably around that same neighborhood.
How about Haas and the addition of him here in the late portion of the season? They hand off. Schlichting barrels his way forward up over the 50, down to the 49. Not to be confused with the 51, by the way, here with 10:30 left in the ball game.
I think I was doing the game with you when you did that one.
I always get a kick out of that. Andrew Goodmanson always checks in from 701 Realty, one of our great sponsors on the PSP network. Just don't forget it's the 49, not the 51, Nick. Thank you. Easier with the metric system, probably, for a guy like me. I don't know how you keep the stats that you do. And folks, I'm telling you, if you ever get an opportunity to see Chuck Claremont do what he does, one of the best in the business. And that pen is working, especially in this ball game again today as Olsen rushes out, gets to the edge up to the 45 nearly before he's pinned on the play by Matati. And it brings up a 3rd down and just about 3, make it 4 here on the play.
Big play right here. He tried to bounce it outside and use that blocker on the outside, but he couldn't. Matati, the inside linebacker, made a nice play as he came from the inside force to go down low and bring him down on just a short gain. This could be one of the plays of the game.
Well, 9:30 ticking down in the ball game. Cheyenne up 24-14. Both teams have 3 timeouts remaining. Ball's placed at the 46-yard line of Davies on their side of the field from the left hash. Olsen back to pass. Quick hitter complete. Schlichting's got it. He's up over the 40-yard line. First down and then some. Down to the 37. Make it 38-yard line. Stop was made from Liam Wicklow. The safety came in and shut the door, but the damage is done to the play with the chains moving.
Boy, just turned inside, settled inside that zone defense, and what a throw by Caden Olsen. That was a great camera shot on the replay as he had just thrown it right through a small window. Gotta like that if you're a Cheyenne fan. And Kai Schlichting, easy for me to say, what a great catch, and then turned upfield, got that first down.
Well, the Fargo Dome with the blue seats that are vacant all the way across the top. A good crowd in here in the lower portion of the stadium. Schlichting dancing left then right, got forward up over the 35. And it will bring up a 2nd down, and let's call it 5 to go here. This venue is certainly beautiful for football, and it's really prime time for the viewership inside this arena. I really like the way that it's set up with the green rafters here, home of the Bison. And I'm telling you, with those big video boards on each side, props to ABC North Dakota putting together a nice broadcast and those replays for us to watch here for this ball game.
Yeah, it is nice. You like those big screen TVs. It's really nice for us as broadcasters. And good job for the Fargo people. They voted for they're going to finally get a convention center here, and they didn't vote for expansion of the dome, but for a convention center. Oh boy.
Oh, awkwardly down to the ground goes Schlichting as he's pasted on the play. In on the stop was number 11. Matati came in. That one, there were some people here, including myself, holding my breath after that. That was an awkward hit, but Schlichting's up and okay.
Yeah, he was kind of cutting back to the inside, so he kind of helped it out a little bit as he was falling down anyway. And so it probably didn't turn out, it didn't hurt as bad as it looked like from up here. Kai Schlichting, 14 carries, 101 yards now. He's over the century mark. 2 big runs of 44 and 38.
Last title for Cheyenne, and their only title. They beat West Fargo by a score of 27-7. We had the call of that one here on the PSP network. Different ball game tonight, but the outcome on its way to being the same here. If Cheyenne can add more with 7:06 left in the 4th quarter and a 10-point lead, pass to the end zone, incomplete.
Yeah, I mean, he was covered pretty well, Cash Gilseth. Then he just kind of slowed down and throttled it down once he got in the end zone. A good job by Capilla. Really, with their corners, they've got good coverage, and there's a lot of it's just man-to-man coverage on the outside. So they're going to go for it here on 4th and 5, huh?
4th and 5 at the Davies 33-yard line. Well, listen to this place come to volume. Giant play in the ball game with 7:06 remaining on the clock. 2 wide receivers on the left, 2 on the right. Schlichting in the backfield, motion man. Olsen firing across the middle. Irie was the intended target. Up on the coverage, making the play was number 10 here for Fargo Davies, and Persons comes up, maybe a play of the game.
Yeah, Persons, and he hasn't got a lot of PT. First time we called his name, and he stepped in, knocked it down. He grabbed his head like, oh, should have intercepted it, but no, you shouldn't have, because you'd have cost your team some yardage. So as it's going to be a turn over on downs. So still lots of time left in this football game.
Well, remember that play right there. If Davies can come back and put some points on the board and make it a bit more interesting, that turnover on down certainly becomes a key factor in the ballgame. From their own 33-yard line, Davies on the handoff. Wermeyer went to the left, but he was taken out at the knees. Again, I think on the stop was Braden Olson.
Yeah, that Olson and Jamison Allen was in there too, and I like what these guys are doing. I mean, Olson, Levine, we've called
second and 9.
Lucas McDaniel played a good game. This defense has really played well, and especially stepping in with Petchak out this whole second half.
24-14, Cheyenne on top. 6.5 to play in regulation. Motion man goes Williams, taps the quarterback, Muse on the back. They pitch it back. Wermeyer's going to pass the flea flicker play. It's intercepted. Oh, then it's dropped. It was into the hands, and then it came out. Jamison Allen looked like he had the football wrapped up, and it squirts free as he hits the turf.
Well, there's your, hey, we got a trick play. They've probably been working on that one for a while. Is Malachi Wermeyer. He goes to the outside. He's got gloves on. He had a nicely thrown ball, threw it up in the air, but it did not look like Williams adjusted very well on that one to go get the football. Maybe not used to having the ball thrown to him.
3rd down and 9 here at the 34-yard line for Davies. They hand off. Williams gets it here, has a lead block from Malachi Wermeyer, and Williams is going to make his way over to the near sideline. Dances out of play at the 39-yard line, and this will bring up a 4th down situation. Is this a time now for Wermeyer, head coach Wayne Wermeyer, to use one of these timeouts with 6:15 left in the ballgame?
Yeah, Jamison Allen again. I don't know if it is or not. I mean, this is a big play, so obviously you can't, I mean, from that perspective alone, it might make sense, but you got lots of time. The play's in already.
Well, no timeout called here. They get up to the ball at the 39-yard line. Listen to the Cheyenne fans coming alive here with 6:15 to play. 4th down and 4. 3 in the backfield again. Muse to pass across the middle. That is going to be picked off, is it not, Chuck? It is. Tate Herman comes up with a football.
Just threw an absolute bullet. Herman was right there. And again, you just can tell they just don't throw the football very, very much. It just doesn't look smooth, you know, like their rushing offense does. He came back, faked a handoff. Looked like he was throwing to somebody probably over the middle, but pressure on Muse forced him to throw it maybe quicker than he wanted to. And right there was the senior, Tate Herman, picking it off.
Giant play for Herman. And now the Mustangs get the ball back with 6:09 left in regulation on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. They have a 10-point cushion at 24-14, and they start at the Davies 38-yard line with a 1st down and 10. 2 wide receivers over on the right side. 2 come to the left with 1 in the backfield from the left hash. Cheyenne working out of the gun here with Olson, who's had a tremendous performance in the state title game. They go to Schlichting. He's wrapped up in a hurry, and it's Alex Meese again that slams the door.
He slanted in from that outside or that left defensive end and right into Schlichting.
By the way, Planet Pizza brings you state championship coverage on the PSP network. No pizza like it. Planet Pizza proudly serving the Magic City for over 25 years. Try one of those Blue Buffalo or plain cheese pizzas at Planet Pizza. You won't be disappointed, I promise you. 701-852-1700. You can order now if you're in the Magic City. 2nd down and 12. A loss of 2 on the last play. Olson by himself from the gun. Rolls out right side, has company now, throws it downfield and incomplete. Uh-oh, that lady standing over there on the far sideline. Look out. She almost got tattooed with it.
But one thing you don't want is you don't want the clock to stop, you know. And on that rollout play, you're better off as a quarterback maybe turning upfield on that one, keeping it in. But, you know, he could have pulled up too, right? Instead, he kind of kept going to the outside. But still, smart play in that he didn't throw an interception. He didn't try to force it. Quarterback Olson said, hey, all right, I'm going to live for another day.
Well, it was Alex Meese that still gave him a lick at the end of the play. Olson's taking some shots here in the ball game, but the tough kid works out of the gun again here. He seems to be just fine in this contest. Fakes the handoff, falls back to pass. Oh, he's hammered on the play. Schlichting out there, but Tesh ran into him. Incomplete pass.
Yeah, he had Jaden Hunter Gus Wermeyer, they were both there. Quarterback got absolutely blown up. Schlichting was open, or excuse me, Schlichting was open in the flat, but the ball didn't get there on time, and he still got licked by Colton Tesh.
Sorry, Chuck.
No, I was just going to say, it's going to be a short kick, so what do you do in this when you kick it high? Do you try to kick it out of bounds?
Well, they go into punt formation. Mathiason's back inside his own 10-yard line to retrieve and receive as it comes back onto the boot. The high kick. This one's going to tower right to the 15-yard line. Fair catch called for and caught. And Davies will start at their 15-yard line with 5:09 left in the ball game, trailing by 10.
I like the kick high in the air. Got an extra 5 yards versus going into the end zone. Well, now you got to see real fast offense here for Davies.
Cheyenne's the only team inside of North Dakota that has solved the riddle of Davies offense, and they did it earlier on this year, winning by a score of 3-0. That game was in the late portion of October, the second to the last game of the season.
I think, if I recall, Davies is #1 point scored offense in the state at just short of 34 per game, and they held them here to 14, and the first game 0. So it's a West Fargo Cheyenne defense. We talked about that. You talk about coming into their own. Only 36 points in the last 6, or 32 points in the last 6 games. 2 shutouts, 3 games that just 1 touchdown they gave up.
Really an impressive stat on the season and how they've turned it on late. Well, when you hit your momentum on your way into the playoffs and then you cruise during playoff time. They beat Legacy in the quarters 28-0. Took care of Bismarck High last week 35-16. This would be an impressive feat. They lost in the semis last year to Minot High School. They were up big in that contest on their home field. The revenge tour, if you will. Muse hit the pocket, thrown out, incomplete. Coverage was there in the secondary, and making the stop on the defensive side for the Mustangs, Jamison Allen.
Yeah, Allen knocked it away. Quarterback just doesn't look comfortable. Now Muse is in the shotgun formation, which, how many times do you think he's ran that this year? Not in practice, but I mean in a game.
Well, with the 261 pass yards on the year, and Gunnar Majerus being their top receiving target on the season, you mentioned that he had 5 or 6 catches total on the year, 4 total.
4, yep.
On the season, they go up over the middle, pass out. Tried to feed Mathiason at the 30, and it's going to be knocked down. Coverage in the secondary was there from Landon Zink.
You look, you got 3 guys in the pass pattern right there. Threw it over the middle. Good defensive coverage by Zink and Irie. Now these guys are going to sit back. Irie, I think, he had a couple interceptions against Mandan to end the game. I think he had an interception late against Davies.
Well, the defense standing strong. Flag on the play as it was sent back into the shotgun for Muse. Here's the call in the field.
Oofta. Now you go back 5 yards even more. 3rd and 15.
Well, Davies trying for maybe a Hail Mary here of sorts in the game plan of trying to change it, because Cheyenne has shut down that run game that has been so steady Eddie, and really the biggest enemy right now with that run game. Again, only 5 minutes remaining in the contest.
Well, they're just not set up for big play runs, because Cheyenne's done such a good job just keeping them to 3 and 4 yard runs.
Trips on the left, duels on the right, back to pass. Muse, big shot. Yeah, here's the Hail Mary out over the 45-yard line. And there with the coverage of the secondary, Isaiah Lincoln, the cornerback, went up and knocked it out of the air. And all of a sudden, it's a 4th down and long from deep inside of Davies territory. And we could be looking at the ball game closely here, Chuck.
Pass intended for Jackson Sturman. You know what, though? That was a pretty good arm for Xavier Muse right there, the 6'3". That was a bullet. 50 yards in the air. Still incomplete, but this is the game right here.
4th and 15, same formation. Triple receivers on the left, duel on the right. From the gun, Muse working here from inside his own 10-yard line. Passes out, it's complete. Oh, they're going to pass it out back. First down, then some, up to the 30-yard line, crashing his way forward. Pass was complete. It was flipped on back into the hands, I believe, of Wicklow. Good call, Chuck, and Wicklow got it up over the 30 in the trick play. In the backyard football game opening up for Davies here.
Yeah, completed initially on that outside. Couldn't see who caught it, but you're right. It was just before he got drilled, pitched it back to Wicklow and picked up that first down, 20 yards on the play.
Well, here come the fireworks again. Muse tosses deep downfield. Irie out after it. It's picked off at the 34-yard line. It is with the football, and away with it comes number 3 here for Cheyenne. Jamison Allen's got it, and the interception's a big one.
Deep down that right side into double coverage, and it was a 50-50 ball, and Allen had the receiver, Williams, completely blanket. He was underneath him on that position. I think it was Holden Whitty maybe that he threw it to on the outside, but great job, or excuse me, Peyton Persons, but as it was, got to give credit to that defense. And Jamison Allen, the cornerback, the senior cornerback, was right where he was supposed to be to get his second interception of the season.
First down and 10 from inside their own territory. Ball at the 34-yard line. Cheyenne comes out. Both teams have all 3 timeouts remaining. 4:20 left. The Mustangs have a 10-point lead. Got to like Davies with the aggressive play call, going for some shots here with the state title on the line. Caden Olson on the run. He's up over to the 45, sliding down before Tesh takes him to the ground. And this will be a first down here for or for Cheyenne, excuse me.
Boy, if Cheyenne wins this, how about the West Fargo season? And you think the Packers, who's really been kind of that team in the back in the day that were dominant. We talked about how dominant Cheyenne Mustangs have been for West Fargo, but 2 teams in the city, state champs. Hey, the game's not over. I'm not giving it to them yet.
Pretty impressive feat. Really impressive. 2A state title went to West Fargo Horace earlier on. Here tonight, 14-8. They took down number 1 Red River. Schlichting on the handoff, ran it near the line of scrimmage, but not quite to it. It's going to be a loss of 1 and a second down and 11 coming here for Cheyenne with 3:38 left in the ballgame. Timeout Davies will take one as well. First International Bank and Trust timeout on the field. Mustangs by 10.
One person is injured in a motor vehicle.
They take care of their customers.
That's right, Carson. You may be number 11 on the field, but at First Western, you and our customers are never just a number.
First Western provides the best in customer service.
When our customers call with a question, we answer their call personally.
Now that's pro-level service.
Thanks, Carson. Professional, friendly, full-service banking is what you can count on at First Western.
First Western, you can bank on us.
Ten-point lead for Cheyenne. Timeout. Fargo Davies Eagles 24-14. Mustangs have the lead and the ball at midfield with a second down and 11. The game plan right now for Cheyenne is just to take some time off the clock and keep a handle on the football, I guess.
Davies has 2. I mean, they do have 2 timeouts, so they don't get a first down. They're going to get the football back. So again, I'm not calling the game yet. You know, if we're doing the Republican or the there's a big stick. You know, we're not calling the race, let's just say, yet. Still plenty of time. Big stick there.
Well, Davies will call another timeout. First International Bank and Trust timeout on the field. A loss on the play. This will bring up a 3rd down and 14. Yeah, one more first down would be a dagger and a nail possibly here. But as Chuck mentioned, not over just yet. While we've got a moment, we want to give a special thank you to you, Chuck, on the job well done today at the Fargo Dome, along with Scott Woodmansey and Todd Domeries. How many years in a row has it been for you guys that you've been going wall to wall at the Fargo Dome?
Let's see. I'm 50. I'll be 58 in November. I just turned 58. Hello. So I would say 30 years, probably. Maybe about that.
Yeah, one game that you called that comes to memory as one of the best ever that you got.
I mean, I didn't get to call it. One of the best games I got to be at was, I didn't call it the year that I didn't call the AAA game. The year my son won the state championship. That was pretty cool to get a father-son, state champ. So I still have some photos of how special that was. I called a few games earlier that day, but being here and seeing a family member win a state championship, that was even bigger than winning my own. But I don't know. There's been so many damn good games that we've been a part of.
Well, this one's got the makeup to be just that. If a Davies stop is in the fortune, coming up next here with a quick hitter to the right side. Gain on the play up over the 50-yard line. It was passed out and complete to Caleb Haas.
It's brought down, another timeout for Davies. Is that their last, I think? Yep. So they will get the ball back if the punt happens. So 9-yard pickup on that throw to Haas. Haas has had a nice game. He's had 3 catches for 51 yards. His first completion in his last 5 for Caden Olson. He was kind of stuck on 9 completions, now 10 of 18 for 174. So Kason Bernstein, the punter. This is kind of one of those that you got to get it away. You can't get the punt blocked. Kick it away from the dangerous return guy, and Mathiasen.
Yeah, Mathiasen wanders back, approaching his 20-yard line. Ball's at the 49 on the Davies side of the field on the right hash.
The thing about it is, if you're a defensive coach for Cheyenne, you're saying, hey, just make them go 80 yards. They've shown they struggle throwing the football right now. Now what? Oh, jumped off sides.
Flag on the play, and Davies, I think, just hopped. This might be a free, fresh set coming here, Chuck.
Oh, what a call by Coach Newton. He came flying out he was so happy. He pointed to his special teams coach and said, great call, as he called like a hard count, and he got one of the linemen to jump off sides to see if the officials, that's what they're going to call.
Here comes the call from the field.
Full start.
Oh, no. They're going to say maybe he moved the football potentially. Coach Newton's got the touchdown Jesus arms out going, okay, timeout. What happened there? I don't see anything.
Well, they're showing the replay on the big board right now. And
I missed that. That's Coach Newton just are you kidding me?
Jeremy Newton not impressed at all. That's going to march him back 5 here, back to the original line of scrimmage, and they will boot it away. High punt, all the way back to the 26-yard line. Mathiasen calls for the fair catch. And now Davies goes to work with 3:20 left here in the ball game. They have to hurry. The sands in the hourglass are wearing thin right now, trailing by 10. And it's an offense that we saw switch things up to something we haven't seen from them all year long, going into the shotgun formation on their last possession that ended up in an interception and a turnover.
Well, the last 2 possessions have ended up in a turnover. 3 of the last 4 has ended up in turnovers, a fumble. They scored, and then the last 2 interceptions. So that's this spread, double trips or twins formation hasn't been successful.
Muse fires it out to the near side. Incomplete. Flag on the play.
Going to be a late hit, I think. That could be the best.
Incomplete attempt for number 6, Alex Christopherson.
Here's the call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer.
Yeah, you cannot do that. That's one thing. That's the second penalty in the game, is all for Cheyenne. And I mean, I didn't see that. Did you were watching close enough to see what happened?
There's a swarm tackle in on the quarterback after it was tossed away, and didn't look too egregious from up here. However, once that ball's out of the hand, you
cannot hit him. Nope, you can't go down low.
Well, it sets up a first down and 10 from the 42-yard line. Davies side of the field. They're trying to march from the left to the right. Muse back in the pocket. He's got company again. Muse is on the run. He's going to be wrangled up for a loss on the play, and crashing in, it's Gable that comes up with the sack.
Boy, just 4 rushers. They dropped 7 in coverage. 5 guys got to be able to block 4, right? The numbers should work out, but not Brennan Gable, the junior nose tackle. What a job. His 8th sack of the season.
Brings up a second down and 11. Muse back to pass. Deep shot here to the near sideline. Up after it again. Intercepted into the hands. It comes to Sullivan Irie. And Back-to-back-to-back interceptions. Give Cheyenne the ball back with 2:43 left in the ball game.
Yeah, he just threw up a jump ball again, saying, hey, we're going to flood that right side. You throw it up. And Sullivan Irie, that was too easy, right? He just kind of nonchalantly stepped in, caught it with 2 hands, and went, that's our ball.
Irie, Allen, Lincoln, Zink. That secondary for Cheyenne. We talked about how good Davies' secondary is, but how about Cheyenne's? They've been lights out here in this contest.
Yeah, they really have. And that's the part when the game plan had to be, let's get ahead by 2 scores, because then we will force Davies to have to throw the football, and it's something they just haven't done this year.
Cheyenne's playing well here tonight. There's no question about that. Now they're 243 away from their second ever state championship. Down onto a knee.
Whoa.
2:39 left as the math add up here. 2:36 ticking down.
Well,
no timeouts for Davies, 3 for the Mustangs.
You're going to get 30, 30, and 30, so ultimately you're going to get a minute and a half. So there's going to be under a minute left here when they have to punt the football. And I think this is basically Coach Jeremy Newton saying, hey, we trust our defense. No reason for us to do anything in terms of trying to fumble the football, even if just trying to run it into the line of scrimmage. So we'll take our chances defensively.
Well, the chess match that is the coaching play calling.
I think I do it a little closer to, yeah, there you go.
Into victory formation they go in a sense here. The kneel down formation rather, under 2 to play. Play clock at 34.
The first time they were in the shotgun formation, they did kneel down, and Coach Newton kind of went, okay, wait a minute, that's not the right. If we're going to do that, we don't want to give 3 more yards. We might as well do it at the line of scrimmage.
Well, I don't know if you saw it in the quarterfinals. Minot High and West Fargo played in the first 7 of the 9 snaps from the shotgun for West Fargo ended up over the head. Minot High was spotted 9 points before they even touched the ball on offense.
I did not.
Again, under center, play clock down to 2. Taking a knee off the snap is Olsen. Game clock's down to 1:15. Play clock at 36.
Oh, so they reset it at 35. Yeah, so it's going to be about 40 seconds when they punt.
Well, you hear the Cheyenne student section. They're engaged. It's not over till it's over. However, again, with what is left here in the contest, it's fair to say that you could put all the bets on Cheyenne.
Just trying to see on the sideline even if Petschak was able to come back out and watch his team. I don't see a number 55. That's not good.
Well, with the 3 timeouts remaining here, Chuck, is that ball game?
Is what?
That be the ball game right here with the 3 timeouts remaining. That play clock will reset. Is that right?
No, they're going to punt it now. So they'll punt it, and then basically there'll be 30 seconds left in the game. Clock stops, yeah, with 39 seconds to go, so it will not start until the ball is kicked.
Thank you, partner.
Yep. What a game, though, by Cheyenne. I mean, they got punched in the mouth right away, okay? And it didn't faze them, right? Down 7, going, oh, hold on. Davies was jacked on that one, but Cheyenne, they just did not flinch. Speaking of flinching, is Tyson, and who's he fighting tonight? He's 58.
Yeah, Jake Paul. My goodness.
Well, there was nobody back as they tried to block the kick, so they can don't touch it until they blow it dead.
There it's blown dead. Ball lands back at the 34-yard line. 25 seconds left of the contest. Davies has a shot here. They need to get to the end zone. They need an onside kick in a quick hurry.
39-yard punt, no return. Yeah, and they're going to be, I would say they do the same thing, probably rush 4.
Well,
keep a spy out from the quarterback, potentially.
Davies needs a giant play here.
They got too many people on the field, don't they?
Their biggest of the ball game, without a doubt. They're going to put 4 receivers and stack them over on the left side. 1 on the right. Hughes is going to work from the gun again. Ball at their own 33-yard line. 25 seconds left in the ball game. Muse back to pass, has coverage. Now he fires downfield. Jump ball up after it. Incomplete. Fell down at the 20-yard line. Out in the coverage there was Isaiah Lincoln, and he knocked the ball away.
I wouldn't be surprised if they run that same play again, or they go backside. You know, they did have man-to-man on the backside with Allen guarding. See, who was the number on this side? Is that, oh, that's Liam Wicklow. Just one receiver on the right side. 4 on the left, as you talked about that.
18 seconds left in regulation from the gun. Quad receivers left, one on the right. Muse back to pass with time, fires it across. It's picked off. Sliding down to a knee, the state title will belong to West Fargo Cheyenne. Landon Zink, the safety, has the interception in the ball game.
That's all she wrote. Should have ran 10 more seconds and knocked it off, but if you're West Fargo Cheyenne, you love it. Another victory formation, and the game is over. Number 2 in terms of state championships for the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs.
Well, they played magnificently tonight, didn't they? Their game plan worked. I think you mentioned it, maybe the move of the game, that they just didn't get rattled when Davies marched down the field on the opening drive of the ball game, and Wermeyer went into the end zone. After that, we saw 2 giant runs, 44 and 38 yards from Schlichting to make it a 14-7 ball game. That was after Davies ended up blocking the point after on the first. And now the celebration is on inside the Fargo Dome. West Fargo Cheyenne wins their second ever state title.
Davies Eagles 14.
Planning Team Financial Advisor, Shots Crossroad postgame show comes up next on the PSP Network. Chuck and I will break it down as the Mustangs take down the Eagles 24-14 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard.
Brought to you by Make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms and hit that subscribe button on YouTube. PSP Network. It's game day.
We want it all. We want our dog to fetch it.
Drop it.
And drop it.
Drop it.
We want to fix it ourselves. And actually fix it. We want to order the market price lobster. And know the market price of the lobster.
How much is... Whatever the market says.
Sadly, we can't have it all. Except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan
or planning for farm or business succession. Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA Civic. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors LLC and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
At Shots Crossroads, we make 8 gallons of homemade ranch dressing every day, so you can smother your dinner salad with it, dip those crispy golden French fries in it, and dunk your breaded chicken strips. You can even cover your... Wait, no. You can't put ranch on steak, or can you? Shots Crossroads. Don't forget the ranch.
24-14 is the final. West Fargo Cheyenne crowned the state champions of 3A football for the second time ever. Welcome into our Planning Team Financial Advisors Shots Crossroads postgame show. Nick Holbert, Chuck Claremont on the call of tonight's matchup. Planning Team Financial, whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team can help you every step of the way. At Shots Crossroads, home of the famous number 99, where team buses are always welcome. Well, we just hear that it's a clean sweep for West Fargo Cheyenne in the awards at the end of the year. Cade Penchock named the Senior Athlete of the Year for 3A football. Jeremy Newton named the Head Football Coach of the Year inside of 3A. Cade Penchock not here, unfortunately. I would have to guess that he's probably still receiving some medical attention, but that young man has a lot to be proud of here tonight. Chuck, overall, your big takeaway in this ball game, what really stood out to you here in tonight's contest?
I mean, just the resilience, you can't say professionalism, but I just like the game management with Caden Olson. I thought the coach, they just, that balanced offense really, when we mentioned that as a key to the game, that's really what it was. They were able to throw the football. They had some big runs when they needed it, and then defensively, they totally stepped up defensively and really shut down Davies. And so, impressive victory for Cheyenne. That those 2 losses mid-season, the Century and Bismarck, they really switched things around, right? And so bottom line is I think that changed things. And sometimes you say losses aren't bad for you. Well, in that case, I think that's what happened with Cheyenne. And they were the best team. They were playing the best at the end of the year. They beat the teams they needed to beat. Like you said, they beat Minot, they beat Davies, they beat Bismarck, they beat Mandan. I mean, they beat all the top teams in the state.
Yeah, they had to go through the top 5 to get there, and they certainly did it. Well, let's take a look at the overall numbers of tonight's ball game. If you've got them, my friend, they're presented by our friends at Orion Family Dealerships. Browse their massive inventory online, driveorion.com. And with those final game numbers, here's Mr. Chuck Claremont.
All right, let's hit it. Malachi Warmeyer, 26 carries, 114 yards, 2 touchdowns for him. Dewald, 17 for 56. Williams, 9 for 51. Muse, 2 for a net 0. Muse throwing the football 2 of 9, 19 yards, 4 interceptions. Wicklow had a catch for 20. Malachi Warmeyer had 1 catch for -1. Schlichting right at the 100-yard mark, 15 for 100. He had 2 touchdowns, a 44 and a 38-yard in the first half. For the Mustangs, Olson 7 carries for 27 yards. Olson throwing 10 of 18, 174, and a big touchdown of 78 yards. That went to Sullivan Irie. Schlichting 4 catches, 32 yards. Haas had 3 for 51. Irie had 2 for 82, including that 78-yard touchdown run. 7 yards for Cash Gilseth and his catch. Team statistics. 54 rushes for Davies for 221. Cheyenne just 22 rushes for 127. 19 yards passing for Davies, 174 for Cheyenne, and here's their balance, 127, 174. Well, it turned into 40 plays for 301 for Cheyenne. Davies had 63 plays, so a lot more plays, but just 240 yards. The big difference of the game were those 5 turnovers, 4 interceptions and a fumble. That's what happened earlier. They had 4 turnovers against Cheyenne. You cannot do that against a team this good. That really was the difference of the game, those 4 interceptions tonight. First one was Herman on that 4th down play, then Allen got an interception, Irie got 1, and then Link got 1 to end the football game. Impressive victory for Cheyenne tonight.
10-point cushion, those numbers Brought to you by DriveRyan.com. Browse our massive inventory online. Thank you, Chuck. Time for our move of the game, brought to you by Magic City Home Leisure. They bring you tonight's move of the game. If you're in the market for a hot tub, sauna, or spa, it's Magic City Home Leisure. Find them online. There's a couple we could go with here tonight. I thought that the second touchdown run for Schlichting that was either 38 or 44. Yep. I don't remember how far it was. Either way, it was a large one. And that really, to me, after the defense was out and played so strong in that moment, I thought that was kind of a dagger. But also, how do you back away from those interceptions?
Well, I would tell you, to me, the play of the game was start the second half. Davies is running right down your throat again. 12 plays are just going right at you. And who steps up? Maddox Weigel causes a forced fumble. You get the football back, and you turn around and go back and score in your first possession, going back the other way. So, and that was that 78-yard pass to Sullivan Irie. So, to me, the combination of those two, that was huge. That was the difference of the game. To me, the game was over at that point in time. You had that, 24-7 at that point, 24-7, and I just did not see Davies coming back from that.
That's your Magic City Home Leisure move of the game here tonight. Visit them online, MagicCityHomeLeisure.com. Time for our MVP, our last order of business for the state championship game for 3A. Brought to you by Sport Clips. Sign in with a hairstylist today. It's quick, it's convenient. They do a fantastic job. Is there one player that stands out for you here in this ball game tonight?
Boy, I mean, I don't know. Surely those runs by Schlichting in that first half. I mean, he had 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had 4 catches for 32 yards. But I mean, I don't know, but to me, I just watched the way Caden Olson played, the way he was a game manager. I just felt like he was the guy, that leader that they just were taking a look at going, he's like, we got you. He picked up the first downs when he needed to. He made the throws on third down. He was 10 of 18, 174, had that 78-yard touchdown to Irie. And I just felt like he was the difference maker of the game tonight, so I would give our Sports Clip MVP to Caden Olson.
Well, he looked like John Elway, and he played like him too here tonight.
He really did, and congratulations. And from what I understand, he's a really good kid too, so that's really cool.
Well, there's your MVP, brought to you by Sport Clips. Chuck, we opened up the day at 8:40 this morning, and Velva took home another state championship. They took down Kindred. New Rockford Cheyenne Maddock got through Lemoore Litchfield Marion here today for the 9-man title. West Fargo Horace took down Red River. Then we just saw Cheyenne take down Fargo Davies. Partner, do you have a closing thought on today's broadcast, wall-to-wall coverage here of the 2024 Dakota Bowl?
Yeah, solid football games today. I mean, there's some, what I was impressed with is kind of the quarterbacks, to tell you the truth. They're the ones that stood out to me. Some of the quarterbacks, they have really improved in terms of the abilities, the throws these guys can make, and that was impressive day all around for those guys. And then ending with this defense that Cheyenne threw out here tonight with their main guy out. That's you talked about people and teams stepping up. Well, that's what happened. They stepped up when one of their leaders in Petchak goes down. So that's a pretty cool story right there. Hopefully, our thoughts are going out to that young man. That we hope all things are okay for him, and I'm hopefully maybe he was listening to us wherever he was.
Yeah, hopefully everything is all right there. As you mentioned, he will celebrate tonight, nevertheless, guaranteed, because the Mustangs are state champions at 3A football. Big thank you to all those sponsors that you see on the PSP network. Frankly, without them, we wouldn't be able to be here. And as always, a giant thank you to all the military men and women out there. God bless our servicemen and women. God bless our veterans. God bless America. The day of coverage is complete at the Fargo Dome. Final score, the 3A matchup. Mustangs from West Fargo Cheyenne, 24, Davies 14. It's the Mustangs with their second state title in 3A football. For my partner, Chuck Claremont, I'm Nick Colberg, signing off from the Fargo Dome. Please have a good night, and God bless.
To fetch it.
Drop it.
And drop it.
Damn it.
We want to fix it ourselves. And actually fix it. We want to order the market price lobster. And know the market price of the lobster.
How much is... Whatever the market says.
Sadly, we can't have it all. Except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips.